And welcome to the Sports Podcast. Can I get some sports with that? I am your host, D-Boy. I have on the panel with me my main man, Mr. Neil. Neil, say what's happening.
What's happening? What's happening?
I got Mr. Phil.
What's happening with y'all, man? We here with it.
All right. Then I got Mr. Capelli himself, Mr. Mike Robinson.
Your boy back at it.
All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, there's been a lot going on in the sports world, but I want to start off with boxing. So, Phil, my question was, in your opinion, is Floyd Mayweather the greatest boxer of all time?
All time is like a hard question to ask because, you got to think about guys like Muhammad Ali, you know what I'm saying? People like, well, these are just personal favorites of mine. I don't think they the all-time best for like people like Sugar Ray Leonard, people like that, Tommy Hearns. But I will make a case for Floyd, though, because, he didn't lose. You feel me? And
A fight.
I'm saying he didn't lose a fight, and I know Floyd ain't known for his power punching. He's more known as a counter puncher. The knock on him has been like, he ain't really got that power, but like people don't touch him. Like I feel like that's just as great as knocking somebody out. Like the fact that nobody can touch him. I think that's an impressive ability that he has. I will like in terms of modern day boxing, I don't think anybody's been better than him, except for Bernard Hopkins, because Bernard Hopkins was just a show, in my opinion. I don't think it was a better show than Bernard Hopkins. I said Bernard Hopkins, you know what I'm talking about. But in terms of like the modern day boxer, I think Floyd was the best at it. Like I said, simply because nobody could touch him.
I'm not gonna say he's the greatest ever. In my opinion, the greatest ever was somebody I met when I was 9 years old, and that's Muhammad, man. Muhammad was the greatest. Like that man didn't lose a fight. Like he lost to Joe Frazier that first time, but in my opinion, he got squeezed. He should have won that fight. But I mean, if you really want to be tactical, after he lost that fight to Joe Frazier, that first fight to Joe Frazier, he didn't lose another fight, man, till like 1979, 1980. And like I said, man, I met the man when I was 9 years old. Dopest experience in my life. And just how he was on TV, that's how he was in person. But I mean, Floyd, like you said, Phil, he's a great counter puncher. And one knock is that he don't have that power punch. But I can't say he's the greatest. I'll put him in my top 10. But as far as like greatest of all time, no, I gotta give it to Muhammad.
Floyd wasn't really much of that. He wasn't the show that everybody enjoyed boxing. I think that's one thing you can't count against Floyd.
True. Yeah, that's a valid point. Mike, what's your take on this?
I give it to him. I give him the title, and that's not like, I know that's controversial. You know what I'm saying? Like I know a lot of people not gonna agree with that, but when when I look at overall, because when you talking about the greatest, you factoring in a lot of different concepts because these are different weight classes. You see what I'm saying? Floyd not gonna be in a fight with Ali, even if they was in the same era. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
That they like it's two totally different sizes. So when you got to factor in a lot of different aspects when you talking about the greatest, which is why I give him the edge over Ali. Had Ali had some of the, you know what I'm saying? I know the time was different and he was a stable for the community in a lot of ways and stuff, but like Floyd, part of what made him the greatest is how he able to control his situations. That's in and out the ring. You see what I'm saying? In terms of the fights that he do, he says people can't say that he ain't fight the best people in his division because he didn't fought anybody that was considered for the most part the best in his division, in his era. But people talk about the timings of it and stuff like that. So you can't be mad at Floyd for picking the right time to fight these dudes because that's all a part of the game. You see what I'm saying? Which is why he undefeated still to this day. Had Ali done that, he would still be undefeated to this day. You know what I'm saying? You fight Frazier when you get more knowledge out on him and stuff like that. See a couple more fights from know what you see what I'm saying? Stuff like that. He'll come in probably win that. I think I can't remember exactly all his loss off top, but I think he lost one to did he lose one to Foreman? I think he lost one to Foreman, maybe. If y'all remember. I don't know. But stuff like that, you know what I'm saying? Like at the time, it was a time where you
He
wasn't
beat Foreman, but it
That was
was
Joe
an ugly
Frazier
one.
that lost to Foreman.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it
Joe
was a
was
rough
the
one
champ,
though.
and Foreman beat him. Then he beat Foreman for the belt.
yeah, I remember
That was the
yeah.
fight in Zaire.
Yeah. Well, but he did have some losses though, and them losses I feel like is a big mark on his career because they didn't have to happen. He could have beat the dudes that he lost. As a matter of fact, I think he did beat the people that he lost to. You know what I'm saying? So which stands out even more, you know. So as far as overall, man, Floyd don't lose. He don't get touched. He got knockouts. You can't say he don't knock nobody out. The hit power there. He didn't put some people down. And the total in terms of everything is just all there. Everything. I mean, the man will fight a 12-round fight and be in a magazine cover the next day. Like it never happened. So
Yeah,
I give it
you
to
got a
him.
point.
And
You got a point.
one thing I can say about Floyd is that when Pacquiao fought him, he threw his shoulder out trying to hit him.
Yep.
No doubt about it.
And Pacquiao a known striker.
No doubt about it. The De La Hoya fight, man, I know y'all seen that.
And he couldn't land one punch, boy. He couldn't land one punch. That's how Floyd won that fight. Because Pacquiao was trying to get him. He was trying to get him with the one-headed quarter, and Floyd wasn't going at all. Not at gunpoint. Carneal, what's your take on this?
So, in my opinion, Ali is the greatest ever. Like, not even just because of like his ring work. It's because of the impact he left on boxing. Even boxers to this day, when they come up, are still trying to figure out how to emulate Ali. It's like not everybody is trying to emulate Floyd. There's only a certain amount of fighters that's trying to emulate him.
What?
And it's
Floyd the new Steph. Stop playing. Just like everybody trying to shoot threes, everybody trying to not get hit, just like Floyd.
Okay. There are only a select few fighters that are honestly good at it. Everybody else,
but they all trying it.
And a lot of them really ain't though, because a lot of them are still trying to be power
made
punchers.
Canelo what he is, and he a whole power puncher. You don't do nothing but dodging all day.
Everybody wants to be Jordan, but they couldn't be Jordan.
Exactly,
but they still gonna try.
Exactly, yeah, they still try.
But you still got your Tank Davises of the world. You feel me? He ain't worried about going in there trying to dodge. Tank finna go in there. He finna put out a slugfest with you.
Ain't nothing wrong with that. It's just
I'm not coached by Floyd.
He is, but he's not out. Once again, Ali has left a bigger mark on boxing, even still to this day. Ali,
that's true. True.
Like when you put it to me, honestly, Floyd is the greatest of this era. If you go by era and you break it down by the times, Floyd is the greatest of this era. Before him, I'm blanking on his name, but you have to give it to somebody. You have to give it to somebody else. Then before that, it was Mike Tyson. Then before him, it was Ali. It's always the era of the boxer. But in my opinion, the overall number one greatest all time is Ali, just because of the mark and the presence that he left on boxing. Like for as much as you say everybody's trying to be Floyd, everybody still trying to be like Ali. Ali was the one in the ring dancing around, making people just look absolutely silly. Like he was a show. And it was like Floyd took what Ali did and honestly perfected it, but he was in a different weight class. Also, when you smaller, and not as big, you can move a little faster. It's a lot easier to not get hit when you that big. When you that big, you can only dodge so much. Eventually, big boys tag you at least once or twice. Like
How
like
many boxers you see try to put on a show like Ali? Because I don't see none.
Tyson Fury.
They come in and play their game. Tyson Fury put on a show with people he know he dominated. He wasn't doing all that with Wilder. Wilder was rocking him, and that was a serious fight. He wasn't playing around with that.
I said he had to put some actual boxing skills in.
He did, but he was still trying to put on the show. If you know Tyson Fury, he's gonna go out. He was still.
That's because Tyson Fury comes in with a big advantage. The nigga the dude like 6'9", like 300 something pounds. He come in with an advantage.
Yeah,
he can afford to play like that.
He the new George Foreman in terms of just size and dominance wise. That's how George Foreman goes.
I can't give him George Foreman because he ain't got that power like George.
No, but I mean, in the modern day, though, you know what I'm saying? Like,
I'll give it to Wilder before I give it to Fury.
No, because Wilder don't got that size like Fury and Foreman.
Wilder got that power, though. That's what I'm saying.
But that size mattered because
if you want to be George Foreman, you gotta have the power too. You can't just have the size.
Okay. So I feel like Wilder got the size.
He got some power. He put him down.
But to Michael's point, he don't got the size that Tyson Fury has. Tyson Fury is just. He wasn't in the Coley Jokic type bodies. You feel me? It don't matter how much they work on their body. You feel me? And they just, as Perk say, they just one of them bad bodies. It don't matter how much work they put into their body. It's just one of them bad bodies, and he still got that advantage. Like he still got that power. He's still coming in here. I'm not saying he don't go to the gym and put in the work for his and like put in the work to be in great conditioning because he does. It's just he just, as Kendrick Perkins said, he just got one of them bad bodies.
That boy hit the treadmill and eat what he want. That's what you do.
That's facts. That's facts. Everything you said, Carnell, is facts. Everything you said is facts. The only thing I feel you missed out, Phil, was Deontay Wilder. And don't get me wrong, Deontay Wilder, that's my man. But you know why he ain't never beat Tyson Fury? He don't have stamina. He don't have stamina.
He ain't got the stamina. I don't think he got enough technique. I ain't saying he ain't got enough technique for me.
It's not even just stamina. Okay, the reason he lost that second fight and he had no stamina is because bro, you are a boxer and you finna go box for 12 rounds, 3 minutes each, bro. That is a long ass time to be boxing.
He spent the whole fight doing the same thing. And
you decided you wanted to wear 40 pounds worth of gear to the ring. He said his legs were shot by the second round. Because he just wore 40 pounds of gear to the ring and walked like 15 minutes down.
I honestly don't like when people say stuff like that. I feel like that's just an excuse for real. And even if you want to use it as an excuse, like, you wore it. Like, at the end of the day, nobody forced you to put that on, G.
He did. And to his point,
he lost his stamina going for them kill shots. That's the only thing.
That's what I'm saying. He spent most of the fight
and most of the time he get them. But he was going for the kill shot on him.
But when you go for kill shots like that, to Phil's point, that means it's just not enough technique. When the only thing you know how to do is just throw the bomb and try and end the fight, it's not enough technique there because you're not working the fight, you're not working your opponent, you're not.
The only other thing I really saw him do besides try to take him out was throw some jabs.
That was just to keep him back.
Yeah, and
He
those
wasn't.
low-key weren't effective.
He
They
wasn't getting
was
his
at
head
first,
out
but
of the
they
way.
was
He wasn't getting.
at all.
He wasn't getting his head out of the way. He wasn't deceiving his punches. Every punch was telegraphed.
Facts. Yeah. So I mean, I think everybody made very valid points. Like I said, me personally, I can't give it to Floyd like as the greatest of all time. I definitely got him in my top 10. I'm definitely not saying he's a bum. I mean, you can't call somebody who didn't lose a fight in a career a bum. He's definitely not a bum. But like I said, I gotta give it to Ali, man. I gotta give it to Ali. And it's not like, and like I said, it's not just because I met him. I actually like watched that man fights. Like went back and watched all his fights, and yeah, that man was the truth. So we're gonna move on to the next topic. So it was a rumor have it that it was a rumor going around that Mike Vick was actually gonna play for a fan controlled football league, but he had went on Twitter yesterday and went ahead and said that he's going to stay retired. Fellas, outside, okay, question to the panel. If Mike Vick never would have got arrested for those dog fighting charges, what do you think his end result would be for his career? Would he have won multiple Super Bowls, one Super Bowl, or no Super Bowls at all? Let's start with Phil.
that's kind of a tough question to ask, only because like I feel like when Mike Vick came back, like he had chances to win a ring. In my opinion, like
Philly.
yeah, exactly, Mike. And Philly, like them teams was loaded, and for some reason they didn't get the job done. Um, Mike Vick is definitely one of my all-time favorite players. Like Mike Vick is like the Allen Iverson of football to me. Like
Fact.
everybody
That's what
loved him.
got
He
me
the people
started.
feel me. He the people champ. Uh, in terms of, but to answer your question though, D boy, I personally don't think it would have changed his career in terms of winning Super Bowls. Um, he might have, had some harder records to break for Lamar Jackson to break, but
Hmm.
and he definitely would. It definitely would have been two more exciting years of the Michael Vick experience. But I think with him going to jail, we want to see Michael Vick be the best version of Michael Vick. Because in Atlanta, Mike Vick was out there just running, running, and running. Throw a little bit here. When he got to Philly, though, we got to see the best version of Michael Vick. Because I always thought Michael Vick was a great passer. It's just that, he was required to run so much. And when he got to Philly, he had a bunch of guys to throw to. And you could really see that he could really throw that ball 70 yards effortlessly. Right? So I personally, even though it wasn't his fault or nothing like that, I think we got to see the best version of Michael Vick because of what had happened to him. And I don't think we would have been able to really see that had that unfortunate event happened.
Okay. All right. Mike, what's your take on that?
I pretty much agree with what Phil was saying. I don't think we would have got much more than what we did from Vic. Couple good seasons, some more highlights, you know what I'm saying? Some more stats, but I think that's about it. I think his best chance was them Eagles team. It is kind of interesting though, because I felt like on that Pittsburgh team, I felt like a team like that would have been real good for him. But Pittsburgh, who Pittsburgh still had, so that
Mm-hmm.
never would have went in his favor. But you know what I'm saying? Say he was down for the year or something, and they had to let him. Hey,
You saw what happened when Ben got hurt for that one game.
hey, that's what I'm saying. And I feel like for a season, I feel like he would have been real nice with that team. But you can't take away from the legend. What I'm saying, Big Ben and stuff. That was so I understood that, but. I really don't think we would have got much more out of him. Super Bowl, I don't think so. I think the Eagles years was his best chance. I think it's another McNabb situation. You know what I'm saying? Like them was your years. You know,
No, it
so
was a Nnamdi Asomugha situation. Paid that man all
Man.
that money to not do nothing but get burned. He burned all
Hey,
that money on the football field, getting burned.
and if I'm not mistaken, I know they had Deshaun Jackson.
yeah.
If I'm not mistaken, they had Jeremy Macklin on that team too. If I'm not mistaken,
And I
They
believe
drafted him,
Shady was on there too, if I'm not
drafted
mistaken.
all them
and
boys.
Shady McCoy, right? Shady McCoy was the running back. And
And
then
they had
So
Gronk too.
they had a decent tight end too. I can't
They had
remember.
Ertz.
Yeah, they had Ertz. They showed
did
wasn't
they
that
have
Ertz
Ertz
rookie
then?
year?
That was a young Ertz. They might have had somebody else at tight end
I don't
though.
think they had Ertz then.
Ertz was there for a while.
Yeah, I just don't think he was there for the Vic years though.
I think he was, but he was young back then. You know, when you first coming in, you don't get a lot of
I
looks
think
like
he
that.
came at the end of them years. I think he came at the end of them years. I think he might have came like the last year or two there.
That team, well, in terms of that team that had Deshaun Jackson and all them, that team was only together for like 2 years.
Yeah, yeah.
And that was the team that was supposed to go to the Super Bowl. I was so
But
mad that they lost to Green Bay. I
but I
wasn't
feel like
understanding that. They
to
definitely
Phil's
wasn't
point,
supposed to have lost to them.
like he said, he kind of the AI of football, and
Yeah.
for me that's big because I mean for me that's exactly how it is. He was the AI of football. That's what got me into football. That was my favorite play. All of that, just like Allen Iverson in basketball. You know what I'm saying? So it was the same way. And then they styles for their respective sports, in a sense, is kind of similar. You know what I'm saying? They career paths for their respective sports is kind of similar in terms of how great they were and the trouble that came along with it and stuff like that, and just the things they had to overcome. And then so you know what I'm saying, hey, AI went out without one, and it's unfortunate, but the way his career path played out, you could see that. And Vix was pretty much the same way in his
Similar.
sport. So I don't think much would have changed, you know what I'm saying? But he would have put up
Um,
some more numbers and moved up them ranks some more though, for sure.
yeah. Yeah, I don't Mike, I don't think he would have got one. Even if he didn't get locked up, I don't think he would have got one. And that's sad, man, because I was the biggest Mike Vick fan, man. Like when Mike Vick won league MVP, I was in Atlanta. Like I actually stayed there. And I was like the biggest Mike Vick fan. So, and it's like somebody said, it's unfortunate what happened. I think that was you, Phil, that said it was unfortunate. It is unfortunate what happened, but it is what it is, man. But like he said, like somebody said, he the people's champ, and that's spot on. He's the people's champ. Carnell, what's your take on that?
Um, you know what? I think he might have actually been able to get one in that 2008 season because if if y'all remember in his time during Atlanta, his contract was almost coming to an end there, so he was going to be able to be up for free agency. So I don't think he was going to stay in Atlanta regardless, no way. And I think that if he was able to have more control over his situation, because like that, unfortunately, what happened kind of it didn't necessarily. He didn't have control over his situation when he came back to football. He kind of just had to see which team was going to take that risk on him, and it just happened to be the Eagles, and it worked out. But the reason those Eagle teams never won, honestly, was mainly due to injuries. They always got injured at the wrong time during the regular season when they got rolling. They would be rolling. Michael Vick had went down at one point. Deshaun Jackson had went down at one point. It's like they would always get hurt when they would get rolling and lose a couple games, which cost them positioning in the playoff standings. And I think honestly, if that Eagles team was able to maybe get home field advantage, and actually get because back then when it was still the first seed and the second seed that got the bye, if they was able to potentially sneak up and get into that second seed and get that bye back then, I think it might have been a different story. But that's a big what if. That's a
You
big what
explain
if.
that different story though, Carnell. You talking about this with that Eagles team? That was after he went to jail.
Right, but still, even so, I feel like if I feel like Vic was on the track to get a Super Bowl, and him and that unfortunate event and him going to jail was just going because like I said, I don't think he was going to stay in Atlanta. Like I said back then, I was a lot younger then, but I didn't think he was going to stay in Atlanta. I feel like had he got to honestly be like an actual free agent and pick where he wanted to go, it would have been a completely different story.
I don't think back then. If Michael Vick, if what happened with Michael Vick would have been happening like in this time of age of football, you might have had a point. But back then, I
He
don't think it would.
definitely was staying in Atlanta. Facts.
Yeah,
He definitely was staying in
Nah,
Atlanta.
so,
You got
Mike would have
that was
definitely chose to stay in
everybody was
Atlanta.
he was the QB of Atlanta. You had Ben in Pittsburgh. You got Eli in New York. You got Tom in New England. You see what I'm saying? You had Phil in with the Chargers. You had Drew with the Saints. He was staying with the Falcons. Like everybody was staying with their respective teams. Peyton with the Colts. Ain't everything Peyton was gonna go nowhere. You see what I'm saying? Like, yeah, he was gonna be there.
yeah, man. Like, I mean, he will always, in my eyes, he will always be one of the most underappreciated quarterbacks in my eyes. I
Oh, for sure.
mean, not to put a knock on his greatness, but like I think if that never would have happened, he wouldn't have got one. But he definitely, in my opinion, he's definitely going to the Hall of Fame because the stuff he did on the football field, man, is unmatched. Like nobody has done what he did on the field until just now with Lamar, man. Like Lamar has broken some some of his records, but yeah, like I said, yeah, he has
Even still to
really
your point, D boy, like Lamar can run like Mike, but he can't throw like Mike.
he can't throw like Mike. No. No, Mike is by far the better passer between the two. But
I think Lamar is a more electric runner though.
Hey man,
Like
it's hard to
yeah,
throw like Mike, bro. You seen the passes he was making on them Eagles, bro. He was throwing the ball practically 100 yards, bro.
I'm
Like,
about to
on the
say,
run. On
he
the
was
run.
he was throwing it like he was Aaron Rodgers for real, for real. He just had a left hand. Like and
As much
they
as
be on point.
I don't care for that man, hey, you right. Like that man was the black Aaron Rodgers. Like, but he was just he was a more athletic Aaron Rodgers.
Can't even. It's kind of disrespectful to call him Aaron Rodgers because he was in the league before Aaron Rodgers. But
hey, facts, bro.
ain't nobody finna mistake Aaron Rodgers as a white Michael Vick. So
No, man, look, yeah, okay. You already know that opened up a whole can of worms. All right, so
that's Josh Allen.
wait. You say who?
I was just,
Did this
I
man
was
say
just,
Josh Allen?
I was joking.
Did this man mute yourself for saying that?
I was joking. I was
I
serious.
know. You good, bro. You good. We're gonna move on to the next topic. So, according to Bleacher Report, the finalists for the LA Lakers coaching job are former Trailblazers head coach Terry Stotts, Bucks assistant coach Darvin Ham, and Kenny Atkinson. Question to the panel: who do you feel out of these three candidates the Lakers should hire? And do you think they will get LeBron back to the playoffs? Let's start with Mike. I want to hear your take on this, sir.
I got a feeling I know who he gonna say too,
All right, let
and
me.
I know
Okay,
his reason.
hold on. Run me these questions again. I want to make sure I answer this in the right way. I want to make.
So
Hold on.
the finalists for the Lakers coaching job are former Trailblazers coach Terry Stotts
Right.
and Bucks assistant coaches Darvin Ham and Kenny Atkinson. Out of those three, who do you think the Lakers should hire? And do you think they'll help LeBron get back to the playoffs next season?
There we go. Do I think they'll help LeBron get back to the playoffs? Nobody's helping LeBron get back to the playoffs but LeBron. I just want to start with that. It don't matter what coach. Honestly, nobody helping him get back but LeBron. LeBron is gonna put the team together. He go do all of that. So if LeBron got himself, he got himself. That was why I wanted to be clear on the question. Now, in terms of who I think the Lakers should for, y'all, yeah, like Cardell said, you know where I'm going. You know where I'm
I
going.
know exactly who he going
My
with.
man's been in the playoffs every
I knew
year.
it.
You see what I'm saying? Hey,
Mr.
and in
Mediocre
terms,
himself.
but
He like the Jazz coach.
I do think Atkinson could bring a certain amount of flair to the team. So I'm not 100% sold because I think he could bring a certain amount of flair to the team. But I think that flair depends on what kind of offseason moves that the Lakers plan on making. As far as a safety net, no matter what offseason moves that they make, I think the best route to go is Terry Stotts. You see what I'm saying? But if they try to make a splash and they make some pretty different offseason moves, Atkinson is not a bad way to go because he's gonna provide with that splash. But Terry, you know what you're getting out of Terry. He got great career regular season numbers. I know his playoff record ain't the best. And people gonna hone in on that. You see what I'm saying? But his playoff record can't get too much worse with LeBron on his team. So I want to point that out as well. You know what I'm saying? And to to his credit, I mean, it's only so much you could do with Dame and CJ when you ain't got, no bigs and no consistent wings. You know what I'm saying? Your
You
bigs
said no
always hurt.
bigs. They had Whiteside and Nurkic.
Bro, Nurkic is always hurt, bro. So to get any kind of rhythm with Nurkic, bro, is iffy. First of all, they can't even trust him to play in his full self because he might get hurt again. Like they don't even play him 30 minutes usually because of his injuries. Like, come on, bro. So and Whiteside, I think they dropped the ball on Whiteside. I ain't gonna lie. I think they should have let him let him do his thing, and they probably would have got a little further. But you know what I'm saying, that remains
They didn't
where that
develop
was.
Zach Collins right either.
Zach Collins didn't develop himself right with them injuries, man. He can't stay on the court. They ain't have a chance to get him right. He hurt, and they was gonna keep him had he stayed on the court. They wouldn't even let him go had he stayed on the court. So that's his own fault. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of, like I said, which is why Terry Stotts should get a lot of credit because he still managed these nice regular season numbers with teams that have essentially nobody. I mean, you got players like Robert Covington, you know what I'm saying, as your second and third option, and you still supposed to somehow make the playoffs.
That's your
Well,
boy
guess what?
though.
He was doing yes, and he's a great 3-and-D player, but he's just that, a role player. You know what I'm saying?
But
3-and-D.
but he's better than Marcus Smart.
He's called him a great 3-and-D player. I'm sorry, Mike. Go ahead, finish.
What? He is a good 3-and-D player. You know what I'm saying? He'll hit that three and he go play some D, some very good D.
Quit
You know
making
what
me
I'm saying?
laugh, dog.
Hey, that's what he known for, bro. Don't disrespect him. That's what he known for. But outside of
He is
that, you know what I'm saying?
a good 3-and-D player, not a great
Stop
3-and-D
playing.
player.
He not good either.
Nah, he good. He's good. He ain't
That
great,
boy
but
Yeah,
he
can't
good.
shoot and he a hack. Stop
now
playing him.
he can't. Wow. Okay, so you just don't like him. So that's clear. That's clear.
No,
But you know what
hey,
I'm
don't y'all
saying?
be saying like people who shoot 35% from three can't shoot. That's exactly what he shoot. He
I didn't
probably
say
shoot
that.
worse than
I
that.
didn't say that. I said if you shooting under that, then you know what I'm
He's
saying. Then
definitely
it's
shooting under that.
Mm-hmm.
His field goal
Say
percentage
if you shooting under
35%.
that, you need to stop.
I'm sorry, man. I couldn't let you get away with that Robert Covington crap. I'm
Now,
sorry.
do you want me to go bring up his 3-point percentage numbers to prove you wrong? Because I definitely can, sir.
Man, go ahead and finish your take, bro. We're not finna talk about Robert Covington.
So but
Phil,
yeah,
best believe I'm coming
Terry
next.
Stotts is your best safe pick, especially coming off of having Frank Vogel. If you
You got me.
want something to kind of replicate that success, Terry Stotts is the way to go.
So you say Terry Stotts?
Currently, as the team currently
You said
constructed,
replicate the success of Frank Vogel.
If
You
you
said
wanna
that.
if you want a best, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Hey, as far as the options they got,
That's interesting. I understand what you're saying, but that's interesting.
I just, Carnell, I'm about to come to you. I just want to say one thing. Terry Stotts is worse than Billy Donovan.
why? Because he don't make adjustments. That's what you better say again.
Trash.
You're talking about two people who got great career win percentage numbers, and maybe their playoff numbers is a little shaky, but that you know what I'm saying, they can improve on that.
That literally shows it because they had great players.
Trash. Like,
bro, Terry Stotts had made the playoffs every year with nobody but Dame. Y'all wasn't even talking about CJ until Terry Stotts gave CJ the
Did he
keys to the
not
2
also
guard and
have
let him take
LaMarcus
over.
Aldridge?
For 1 year, and Aldridge left
LA.
after that. What you mean?
LA.
I know he had him for 1 year. I'm just saying, like,
They was one of the
Dame
best
is
teams in
a
the West.
great
With
player.
Dame and Aldridge, they was one of the best teams, and the whole team left. Aldridge left. Wes Matthews left. Nick Batum left. So they had to put a whole new team together.
Coaching matters.
Still made the playoffs. Yeah, exactly. Coaching matters. Still made the playoffs. Dame, CJ, by themselves. You said you can't name nobody else on that team.
And when the playoffs came, what happened? He was unable to make adjustments. Therefore, his playoff record. They got great regular season numbers because they had at least one great player. Terry Stotts had one great player.
You can
Billy
only
Donovan
make so
had
many
2
adjustments.
great players.
Billy Donovan is the king of not making adjustments. He had a bench mob and couldn't make the adjustments necessary. Terry Stotts ain't had half the players that Billy D had, and you expect him to make adjustments. It's only so many adjustments you can make when you only got 2 good players.
What bench mob?
I understand what you're saying. I'm just telling you, like, the proof is not in the pudding.
All right, Carnell, what's your take on this? Because I know you've been itching.
So Terry Stotts is like the Utah Jazz head coach.
Quinn Snyder.
Wow.
And yup. Terry Stotts is like Quinn Snyder.
Wow.
And Billy Donovan. They all go in that same tree of coaches who have great regular seasons, but in the playoffs, they don't do what they supposed to do so they teams can honestly still be in bed. They don't scheme right for the playoffs. They not scheme right.
You say the same thing about Doc Rivers then. It's a lot of coaches you can say that about if y'all trying to penalize Terry Stotts for his playoff record. And Doc Rivers blow 3-1 leads every year.
That's true.
I'm definitely penalizing Doc.
I'm penalizing Doc.
Man, that's fact. Hey, wait, I gotta get this in here real quick.
But the difference between all of them, though, real quick, is Doc still got one of these. They don't.
He had a big 3, though.
Wait,
exactly. Terry Stotts ain't had none of that, bro. Come on,
I'm
man.
just saying.
Let me get him right quick, Mike. You know why Doc Rivers got that ring? Because he had 3 future Hall of Famers.
Literally. 4. Because Rondo is going.
4. He had 4. He had Rajon Rondo at the point. Jesus Shuttlesworth was your 2. The Truth was your 3. And in my opinion, the greatest power forward ever was your 4.
Okay. And here's where I'm about to clap back. Doc Rivers may have troubles making adjustments in the playoffs, but he still is able more times than not to try and get the best out of his players. Like Phil said,
didn't get the best out of his players. best seasons of their career under him.
Ooh.
Terry Stotts ran a very freelance offense and didn't do. If Terry Lance even had the ability to scheme up a better offense than just give the ball to Dame and let Dame work, the Blazers would have performed better. Now, anyway, as I'm trying to get to my point, the best coaching assistant for the best coaching candidate for the Lakers is the Bucks assistant Darvin Ham. He is fresh off of winning an NBA championship, and not just that. Rumor around the league is Darvin Ham is actually very connected around the league, and he is going to coach. Darvin Ham is going to get in his players and coach. He ain't gonna have no. I can tell you right now, Darvin Ham he ain't gonna have he's not gonna have any problem getting into his players. You gotta think about it. That was the same thing they said about Ty Lue. Ty Lue didn't have a problem with calling out LeBron. If you can get a coach that can bring the best out of your best player and call them out even when they playing good, and get the rest of the team to rally, it'll be Kenny Atkinson is a good developer. That team is not young enough for Kenny Atkinson to come there and do what he did with the Nets.
That's why I said depending on what kind of changes they make.
It's not the same team. And like I said, I'm not bringing Terry Stotts in there because I don't think Terry Stotts can. I don't think Terry Stotts is honestly proven he's proven that he coached. I don't think he's proven enough to coach LeBron. I would rather give LeBron a fresh coach than to give him somebody like Terry Stotts, who we know with the type of offense it's gonna be a meshing problem. They gonna tune Terry Stotts out the minute he get in there.
They ain't do that to Frank.
They did. I couldn't tell. Like you said, it was the bubble.
Oh, okay. Now it was the bubble. Okay.
I'm just saying. According to you,
it's funny how opinions change.
According to you,
Mike, your opinion changed too, but we ain't gonna talk about it.
According to you, it was the bubble. Now, I believe they listened to Frank Vogel when he first got in there, but at the same time, nobody really expected them to kind of do what a lot of people had the Lakers winning, but that wasn't off the basis of Frank Vogel coaching. Like, let's be honest, who did the Lakers really have to play on that way to the finals?
They played Russ and
they played
James
Terry
Harden.
Stotts in them. What you mean?
Yeah, they played Portland in the first round
and swept them like they didn't. They
didn't sweep because Portland came out and dominated game one. Boy, don't disrespect.
Everybody was talking Portland won that
they beat them in 5.
Yeah, they gentlemen sweep through the playoffs that year.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They didn't have no real competition for that entire playoff run.
No,
so
I wouldn't say it was no real competition.
So now you're gonna say. So now you contradicting yourself.
I just think
by saying they got no
niggas.
Real competition. When Terry Stotts was coaching the team that you saying was no competition, but you just tried to say that man was supposed to make something out that same team that is no competition for nobody. Come on, bro, stop it.
That Portland team was nice.
That Portland team,
they nice because he made them nice.
That Portland team was nice, but that season they were no competition.
Nick Batum ain't never had another season like that. What you mean? Since he left with Terry Stotts, Aldridge ain't never had another season like that. Even though that's a lot of age, but Batum, I'm not giving that age.
Him going to San Antonio.
I'm not going with none of that. You see what I'm saying? Like, no, bro. Wes Matthews, you ain't even heard of him since he left Portland. Maybe now because he on the Bucks. But that's about it.
Wes Matthews win a ring with the Bucks?
That's the only reason you heard of him, because he won that ring on the Bucks. You said that. Before that, he was nothing. He was almost out the league.
Oh no, I take that back. I think he won a ring with the Lakers actually.
I'm about to say.
He won a ring in the bubble with the Lakers.
Yeah. He wasn't on that Bucks team. He joined the Bucks this year.
He won on the Bucks last year. He was on the Bucks last year.
Nah, he joined him this year.
Nah, he.
So who he played for last year then?
I think he did play for the Bucks last year too.
I'm about to look it up because honestly, but like I said, in my opinion, I feel like the best candidate for this Lakers coaching job is Darvin Ham.
So
because
you
Even if they keep Westbrook, huh?
I feel like Terry Stotts is gonna come in there, and this is gonna be a repeat of what happened this past year.
You know what? I'm so glad you said that, Carney. Oh, my fault, D-boy. Go ahead and do your thing.
No, you good, because I was just about to go to you. But let me say
Yeah,
this real
let's get
quick.
in it.
Let me say this real quick. I mean, like I said, man, Terry Stotts to me is no better than Billy Donovan. But what's worse with Terry Stotts is, you think LeBron gonna respect that man?
Thank you. That's what I'm saying.
LeBron gonna clown that man.
I think LeBron will respect Terry Stotts.
Coming from having to go against him in the playoffs
LeBron
and years
gonna do
like
that
that, yeah,
man.
he gonna respect him.
LeBron gonna do that man like how Mike did Jerry Krause.
So y'all don't think Terry Stotts gonna get no respect, but you think a first year coach that LeBron ain't got no ties to, none of that gonna get some respect from him?
Coming
Dude
from an
off the
assistant
Bucks,
coaching
come
staff
on,
that's
bro,
fresh
no.
off a championship win, yes.
You're not gonna get no respect with LeBron over there. Come on now. We better off with Atkinson.
People said that. People said that with Ty Lue. People said
No,
LeBron
they
wasn't going to
didn't.
respect Ty Lue in Cleveland.
Who said
People
that?
people said Ty
It
Lue.
was an upgrade from David Blatt.
He
Everybody
loved
knew
Ty
that.
Lue.
Everybody knew.
LeBron
Nobody
is the
said
reason
that.
why Ty Lue got raised up to that position.
Exactly. As they was shocked, they was getting David Blatt up out of there for Ty Lue to take over because they already had dropped the ball trying to get David Blatt that position.
Hey, they did run him up out of there. He got them to the finals. Near they did him bogus. He could have got them back.
They said Ty Lue the one who really did it, and that's why they ran him up out of there.
Facts. Phil, what's your take on this? Who do you think? I know you a LeBron fan. That's your man. So who do you think the Lakers should hire, and do you think they can help LeBron get back to the playoffs?
He gonna give you the best answer. That's his
The
boy.
answer is none of them.
I knew it.
And to answer your question, no, because none of them is a good option. It's a reason why the Lakers are down to these three candidates, and it's because they need a yes man. Frank Vogel was a yes man.
Fact.
It's a reason why Ty Lue ain't in there right now. It's a reason why Jason Kidd ain't in there right now. Because they need somebody who gonna answer to them all the time. Because the Lakers front office is a clown show. I've been saying this for months now. They're a clown show, and nothing's gonna change for that team until that clown show gets in order.
But if you listen to the type of person Darvin Ham is, he's not gonna go in there and be a yes man either.
Okay, and with that said, he's definitely not going to get hired.
Right.
And that's the exact point I'm making. They're not going to hire a coach like that, regardless of how respected he is, what he do in the league, none of that. Because if that was the case, they would have hired Ty Lue. If that was the case, they would have not made Jason Kidd an assistant. Like I said, it's a clown show. When you have 6 different people running your organization, when there's only supposed to be one making the decisions, this happens. It's a shame because it's the Lakers. It's a shame because it's the end of LeBron's career. And it's also a shame because somehow Russ got dragged into this, and now he getting all this BS towards him.
He's getting crucified, bro. And I don't like it one bit, bro. They are character assassinating him to the fullest, bro.
That is Russ's fault, and that is also LeBron's fault. That's both of their fault because Russ wanted to come there, and LeBron signed off on it. So I blame them for that. But like I said, they're a clown show, and I don't think any of these candidates are good candidates. I don't think they're bad coaches. I just don't think they're good coaches for this Lakers. Not only for the Lakers, for this team in particular.
So who should they go with, Phil?
That's a hard question for me to answer, honestly, because, like I said, if it was my personal choice, it would have been Ty Lue. But we know that's not going to happen.
Hey, I'm going to tell you right now. And Phil, that's
and they will. And hold on, real quick, D-boy. They will win a ring if they would have had Ty Lue. More than one.
Oh, yeah. Oh yeah, Ty Lue would have had them running, man. Ty Lue would
Who,
have
the
had them
Lakers?
running like a
Yeah, they would
well-oiled
have won.
I
machine.
can't say that. I
They
can't
would have
say
won
that.
at least 2.
I can't say that. The reason I can't say that is because the main reason they didn't win at least 2 was injuries, and that still would have happened even with Ty Lue.
Yeah. I'm
You do
not gonna
you
lie.
do have you do have a point with that, but here's where Ty Lue comes into play. Because Ty Lue would have gotten AD ass. You feel me?
He
He
still
would
would
have
have got hurt.
changed all
It don't
that.
matter. Still would have got hurt.
But AD gets hurt all the time because he doesn't take care of his body properly. Okay.
He said
Hmm.
I mean, based off what he said, that ain't true. So
And
who
that
knows?
and that point you made, Phil, I'm gonna come back to that. I'm gonna come back to that later in the show. I'm gonna tell you right now, and I'm gonna say a name, and everybody I know y'all gonna say he don't want to coach, but if the Lakers was smart.
We know they're not.
Who, Mark?
Mark, look here.
Well, they already interviewed
I
Mark,
don't know
and
what the
apparently
hell. I don't know what the hell I'm doing. I need you. Hey, look, I'm
they
finna
already
send
interviewed
you a
Mark.
blank check. You
So
fill it out.
so so so
Whatever
so
you want.
so
I
real
need you
quick.
to come coach this team. I need you to get me a ring. I'm sending the check. You write it out, sir. All right. All right.
Mark
I still
Jackson
told him
wasn't
no.
Mark Jackson wasn't interested in coaching the
In
Lakers.
that job, yeah. They already
He
asked
was
him.
more interested in trying to get that Sacramento Kings job
Yeah.
versus that Los Angeles Lakers job. And honestly, I don't blame him. That
Mark
Kings
I
job
don't
Jackson
was
blame
wants
him
something he
either.
could build with. You got to think Mark Jackson built something in
yeah,
Golden State, and
He built the Warriors.
the fact that he wasn't able to sit there and finish it out and reap the benefits for something he built.
Exactly.
Of
Cultivated,
course,
reap the benefits.
exactly.
he going.
And
You
you
know what
know
I'm saying?
what?
Of course, he gonna
He
shoot for that again if he
he
come
want to
back
go
out.
somewhere where
Which is
he
why
can
he ain't
build
been a
his
coach.
culture.
Wait.
He not finna just take any coaching job. You know
Yeah,
what I'm saying?
he not gonna
Right.
go somewhere unless he know he could build his culture. If he can't go there
Right.
and build the culture, he
Right.
don't want the
And you're not
job.
doing that
And
with the
that's
Lakers.
why, it, and that's
Phil's point,
exactly
they
why
want a
And
he
that's
yes
wasn't a
man.
serious coaching candidate for no other team besides the Sacramento Kings, and it made so much sense.
wait, hold on, Carnell. And Mike, it's funny you mentioned that. Cause I was watching Draymond Green's podcast one day,
Yeah, I've
and
been
he
watching it.
had Steph on there. And
Yep, I seen that.
they were talking about how they were surprised, how shocked they were when they found out Mark had got fired.
Yeah,
Yeah,
They expected him, they expected to win with him.
yeah.
So really, truth be told, it's not Steve Kerr. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm not taking nothing away from Steve
Oh no,
Kerr. He's a hell of a coach.
Steve still did a lot, and they even said that too. Don't sleep.
Steve, right, exactly. And that's why I say I never disrespect Steve Kerr. He's a hell of a coach.
it's the organization. They went behind his back.
I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm not gonna lie.
Mark,
Mark started it, but I think Steve is the reason that they have dynasty considerations right now because Steve has also been a part of a dynasty. You know what I'm saying? Even
oh
though he
yeah,
wasn't there the whole time, he's been a part of a dynasty.
and
He
I
knows
can
what it's like
agree
to
with that.
win, and
And I can agree with
he
that.
definitely been a great coach and played a big
But,
part in them becoming the dynasty that they,
And
you know what
and
I'm
and
saying?
Steve know how to manage egos.
yep,
Exactly. Yes. Yes. That's big.
and
That's
Mark does
big.
too. And Mark does too. Mark, like,
I think Mark knows how to earn your respect. I think
Right.
Steve
Right.
knows how to just manage the egos of the players.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
he know like what's gonna help them help the team type stuff. Mark is like y'all gonna listen to me more so, and it ain't even like his approach. It's just his aura. Like it demands
Yeah.
it.
But
And
he
that's
people
why
ride
demands,
I
with it.
feel like. But
man.
what you said right there, Phil, is exactly why a lot of people feel like Mark Jackson still would have been able to get at least 1 or 2 rings with that team just because of
Yeah.
that, just because of how much respect he commands, how much the players love him, how much they listen to him, give into the system and play for him. That's why the players themselves and a lot of people still feel like Mark Jackson could have at least got that Warriors team to 1 or 2 finals.
like
They
they would have
blown away
won,
for
but they
sure.
would have won, but they wouldn't have created that dynasty. I really think Steve
Yeah,
had a lot to do with that, man.
yeah. Steve did have a lot to do with that, but I still
I
feel Steve
definitely
was
gotta
winning
give
with
Steve
Mark's
his credit,
prayers.
but
Yeah.
I
I'm
just
not. I'm not trying to take
Mark
nothing
laid the
away from him.
foundation.
Definitely, definitely. Because I ain't gonna lie to you, I don't think Steve could have laid that foundation. They had to do it
No,
together in order for that.
nah,
For them to
nah. They
become how
had to
they
do it
was,
together.
they had to do it how they did it. Mark had to lay that foundation, and Steve had to build it up. Like
So then, this is my thing though.
I definitely
Do
could
you,
see all of that.
And the Warriors had to draft who they drafted.
hmm
so then, really quickly, do you think that had they kept Mark Jackson as the head coach and brought Steve Kerr along as an assistant, do you think that would have worked? Or no?
Yes, it would have worked because Steve.
Yeah,
They literally
Steve.
could have.
Yeah,
You would have had the best of both worlds. Steve would have
yeah,
matched the egos, and Mark would have demanded the respect.
yeah.
It kind of would have been like Remember the Titans.
I
I don't.
I think it
Y'all
would have
saw
been
that
a
movie?
beautiful partnership, honestly.
Like it'd been like like Carnell, like somebody just said. Kerr would have managed the egos. Mark Jackson would have demanded the respect. And that's why I want the Bulls to stop playing so bad and stop playing and go get them. Because Mark Jackson, if Mark Jackson coached this Bulls team, one thing I can say for sure, the Bulls wouldn't be soft. And Phil, I'm sure you can agree when I say the Bulls are soft. That's their biggest problem. They soft. They soft.
Yeah, but honestly, D boy, and you are not gonna like this. I know you're not. But the Bulls is just like the Lakers in terms of their ownership. Like they want a yes man. Like they just like
Oh,
these
I know.
they just like
I
these
know.
big market team.
And
Well,
that's why they'll
Bulls
never
are a big
win.
market team. Like
And that's why they'll never win. That's
What
why
you mean?
everybody
That was
talking
the
about they
whole
excited.
reason they
I'm
was
like,
letting
for
Phil
what?
Jackson go. That's the whole reason they let. That's the whole reason they moved over Phil Jackson. They say you're not gonna do what we say. All right, you up out there.
exactly like that. That's what big market teams do. They want people they can control. And
The
if y'all
Bulls'
haven't
biggest
noticed,
thing been
all the
control.
coaches that the Bulls have, even the Lakers, like all the coaches that they have coached their team have been people who are considered yes men, and I feel like a lot of those were at least them D Rose teams. I feel like their greatness was in some way hindered because of coaching.
I don't know. I don't think Tibbs was a yes man though. I think
I
Tibbs.
think Tibbs
I
was a
think
good coach,
I
but
think
remember that year
Tibbs
they had Vinny
literally.
Del Negro?
Yeah, that was
He,
horrible, bro. That was horrible. I hated
they
him
were exciting to
as a
watch,
coach.
but man,
I hated him as a
they
coach.
could have did way better.
You know what?
I hated him as a coach, bro.
Vinny did.
Oh my god, I hated him
It's kind of.
almost as much as
It's
Scott
kind of.
Skiles as a coach, bro. And
Oh,
I
oh,
really hated Scott Skiles as our coach, bro.
Yeah, Scott Scouts was
but
You
horrible.
hated Scott Scott?
Vinny Del Negro did get us to the playoffs though that one year.
Yeah, he
He
did,
kind of,
but
he kind of laid the foundation for Thibodeau to come in and kind of like, almost kind of like what the Warriors did, except we did never get to that next level, but it was kind of the same. Vinny Del Negro set it up,
Tibbs
and
established his
Thibodeau.
own foundation.
Now, thank you,
Mhm.
Thibodeau. Thibodeau
Tibbs
established,
established that defensive foundation that the Bulls
but
ended up having.
he also sabotaged itself too because that right there is the whole reason we didn't get over the hump because they were so defensive minded and so
And
defensive
they
this and
got
that.
rid of
We
guys
didn't
like
have
John Salmons who could create
exactly
shots
Ben
and Ben
Gordon, you see what
Gordon
I'm saying, and
who could
relied on
create
D Rose
shots.
and only D Rose. You see what I'm saying? Like so the
Even though
Tibbs like
somehow
literally
Luol Deng was an
sabotaged
all-star
themselves.
that year. He managed to average like what 20 points a game that year.
19. He wasn't in no 20. 19.
Dane Knight suffered that injury after the 2007
I'm about,
season. Who
I'm
knows?
about to, I'm about to say, low key, if Luol Deng ain't never hurt his wrist that season, bro, it would have been a different story.
Y'all
No, it
do
wouldn't.
realize KG
No, it
was hurt
wouldn't.
that year.
No, it wouldn't. It wouldn't have made no
Like
difference.
y'all know KG was hurt that year.
Yeah,
that y'all
KG
win
was hurt
7
that year.
games.
The
In my opinion, that's the
Bulls
only
rode
reason
the
that series
Luol
went
Deng
7
wave
games.
way too long. Way too
They
long.
they shouldn't have wrote that wave in the first place, in all honesty. But I
I
get
mean,
it.
he was a
I
player
get
coming
it
out of
because
Duke, so I get it. Riding for like
yeah,
2
that's what I'm
years,
saying.
but
You know,
after that rookie contract, like man, stop riding that wave, bro. Y'all
he's
chopped
It's
six
off
he's
No
6'9".
Fione.
He could defend
I would have
and
got
he
more
could
out
hit
of the game.
shots.
Kept No
I'm
Fione.
sorry, I'm sorry, but that's still not as bad as what the Lakers did.
You talking with Timothy Mozgov?
No, bro, with Luol Deng, when
Oh my
they just
goodness.
finished stop paying that man, bro.
Yeah, that was
They
retarded.
gave that man all that money for like 20 games, bro.
Yeah, he got hurt and never played for them again. And when
He
he played, he wasn't good.
That was the biggest steal in NBA history, bro. He fleeced them for like 70 million.
All
And
right. So moving on to the next, yeah, fleeced them. Moving on to the next topic, we're going to move on to the Eastern and Western Conference Finals. So the other night, the Miami Heat beat the Boston Celtics. I believe the final count was 100-92. Bam Adebayo led the way with 31 points.
It was
However, Miami did lose star
it was 109. It was 109. It was 109,
100. I'm
103.
sorry.
It was 109,
109,
103. They
103.
lost by 6.
109, 103. Excuse me, corrected. Thank you for the correction. 109, 100. Star guard, man. Star wing player Jimmy Butler did leave mid third quarter or early fourth with knee
He
inflammation. Bam Adebayo led the way with 31 points, but Jalen Brown, 40 points, 9 rebounds on 100% shooting from 2-point field goals. Let's question to the panel. Do you see this game? Do you see the series going 7 games? And how important is Robert Williams to the Celtics' success? Let's start with Carnell.
yes, I see the series still going 7 games. Uh, to be honest, I kind of expected the Heat to come out and win game 3 just because of how they lost in game 2. They lost in such a yeah, see, he doing all that. He doing all that just to be disappointed.
you know they can't see it, Carnell.
He doing yeah. I know, but 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 still, it's like I said. I still got the series going 7 games. I still have the Boston Celtics winning in 7 games.
Yeah.
Uh and part of the reason has to do with how game 3 ended, with them kind of collapsing at the end. Like because all night long it was just a string of turnovers in game 3. And I think that with Jimmy Butler going out with knee inflammation, he didn't return at the half. They went into halftime. He didn't come back out. And just what happened, I feel like they're gonna come out game 4 and get the win. Now Robert Williams is very important because a lot of what the Heat do on that screen, on the Boston Celtics pick and roll action has a lot to do with the fact that like they're missing Robert Williams because in games 1 and 2 they couldn't necessarily trap off the screen like on a lot of these screens, when Robert Williams wasn't playing, they were trapping the ball handler because there wasn't good dive action to the rim because a lot of times they would set the screen to kind of flare out. There wasn't good dive action to the rim. You missing that rim protector, that rebounder, the person that's gonna go out there and honestly just set the tone for them defensively. When you got somebody out there like that who can get a big block or a crucial rebound when it's needed, or even just playing hard defense and just getting a stop, altering a shot. When you have somebody like that on the court, it allows for a different dynamic offensively and defensively, because then you still have that lob threat. You have your rim protector. So now it allows you to play a little bit smarter. And like I noticed without Robert Williams, they press all the wrong ways defensively and they get a little too aggressive on offense and defense without Robert Williams. They start doing a little too much dribbling. They don't because they don't have that person in the middle where they can just kick the ball over the top to, which is why I think Robert Williams makes that Boston Celtics team a very different because of the things he can do offensively and defensively. Like he is a big, big, big part in what they've been able to accomplish this season, which is why they need him in order. I'll put it like this. They need him if they want to come back in the series. I don't think they necessarily need him to win a game 7, but they will need him if they want to win the finals.
They need him or they need Marcus Smart. Which one?
They need them both, okay? Don't act like you don't know what a team is, bro. Don't act like the Warriors don't need Draymond Green and Stephen Curry. Knock it off, dude. Like, come on, now.
That is not a comparison.
It's a team. It's a team sport.
Not a good comparison.
All right, Carnell. So
wait. Hold on. I only made that comparison because you have their defensive leader and the person who sets everything, who also allows their offense to move in motion and get better shots. That Warriors team don't do what it do without Stephen Curry and Draymond Green, and this Boston Celtics team don't do what it do without Marcus Smart and Robert Williams. That just is what it is.
Okay, all right. So we're gonna move on.
With Marcus Smart and Robert Williams, take Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown off, and they still gonna be doing the same thing. They still gonna
No. Obviously, you need Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown, bro. We talk about the role players. Don't act, bro. And see, no, bro. This that capping you be doing because don't act like role players ain't needed, bro. Because you literally just tried to you literally was just talking about how role players matter and certain stuff like that, and now you gonna try and bring up how they don't matter. What is it with you?
I didn't say they didn't matter. I said that's not a comparison to superstars.
It's not about the superstar. It's about the effect they have on a team. Jason Tatum isn't their emotional leader. He's their scoring leader. Marcus Smart is their emotional leader. Draymond Green is the emotional leader. Stephen Curry, emotional leader. Robert Williams, defensive leader. Draymond Green, defensive leader. It's not about the superstar level and what they do. It's about the effect on the team and how the team operates.
I think for Boston, that changes on any given night because last night or the last game, Jaylen Brown was their leader in every sense of the word.
He was the scoring leader. He kept the momentum in the game. That's what happens when they have down. That's what happens. We have two superstars. No, because if you look at game 2, they wouldn't have won game 2 without Marcus Smart. He came back, dropped 24 points out of double with 3 steals. Like, are you
superstars?
Are you not comprehending what goes through your head? Of course, bro. He's a superstar. He's going to be the scoring leader. So when your scoring leader is doing what they're supposed to do, it's going to have an emotional effect on the team. The team's going to get a boost. But in terms
Jason
of whole
Tatum is their scoring leader. He's the number 2.
All right, bro. You just want
to
cap
why
and act
you
like
playing into this, Carneal. Like,
bro,
I don't know why you playing so deep into this. You should just let him have his take. Like you giving this too much thought. He just messing with you right now.
Man, and like Carneal, you falling for it every time.
Falling for all that bait.
he be baiting you, bro. Baiting you, and he know I'm right. Cause look at him.
He be capping, bro. I can't let that cap slide, bro.
You know exactly what buttons to push for you.
Man, he be baiting, bro.
It's gonna get me hot every time, bro. Cause
when Mike be
because he doing with all the different teams,
I don't care no mind, because I know he trying to base.
I was just I already know what time he on.
You ain't finna get me.
Hey, sometimes I have time, but some other
man,
time
look, I don't never have time for this man. You ain't enough to get me. All right, so we gonna move on to Mike. Mike, What is your take on that Boston series? And what do you think about the Warriors, man? Bruh. Bruh.
Man, you
Oh,
feel like it was
we
gonna
gonna
last for
get
the
to them
Warriors.
Warriors. Yeah, we gonna get to them on the Warriors, right? I'm on Boston right now. We gonna get to them Warriors later. But Boston, hey, Boston. Let me start out by saying I do think they're gonna come out and win Game 4. I do. I think they're gonna come out and win Game 4. Boston don't usually, as far as track record shows, at least the way these playoffs been going, they're not gonna lose 2 in a row usually. And you know what I'm saying? They usually come out and make them adjustments, which I give them a lot of credit for how they come out and make adjustments, because that has been a big reason why they make it through these playoffs. But even though I think they're gonna win, I think Jimmy is gonna be a major factor in this game, whether he's good or bad. Like, if you get All-Star Jimmy, they could very well go up 3-1. You know what I'm saying? But I just don't know if that's gonna happen with this knee and stuff like that. If he fully healthy, he gonna try to prove something for sure. But we gonna see. But Game 3, man, shout out to Bam, because when Jimmy was out, man, it was looking real ugly. I
He
ain't gonna
definitely
lie.
stepped up.
It was looking real ugly, and Bam just found a way to keep answering. It was times he answered where I didn't even expect him to answer. I'm like, yeah, just take this off, so go play some defense. And he found a way to answer. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, I was impressed, and I've been looking forward to that. But let's be real. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna keep it 100. That's all because Robert Williams wasn't playing. Because when Williams was playing, my man's Bam was kind of nowhere to be found, man.
The
And
Time Lord. The Time
I don't
Lord.
like that. I don't like that at all. I
The
don't like
Time
that.
Lord.
I'm not gonna lie to you. I don't like that. So,
That man
you know
used
what
to
I'm
playing against
saying?
dudes his size.
It's some things that gotta be figured out on the Miami side. The thing about Miami is they need somebody that's gonna do what Bam did on any given night, and they're not gonna get that out of him every night. They're not gonna get that out of Tyler Hero every night. They're not gonna get it out of Kyle Lowry every night. They're not gonna they'll get it out of Jimmy most nights. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, so that's I think that's the biggest thing for Miami, and why they not a sure lock to run through this is because they not gonna get them games out of these guys every night. Oladipo, you're not gonna get that every night. So I think that's a
Not
big
just that.
thing. You
You
know what
don't
I'm
even
saying?
know if Kyle Lowry gonna suit up every night because he's questionable for Game 4.
I think Kyle Lowry ready to play now. He done missing games.
Yeah, and he realized how much they needed him last game when Jimmy went down. I saw the sense of urgency that he played with, and he definitely was trying to channel some of them Raptors finals games. I ain't gonna say he was there, but you could see him trying to channel that and say show his experience. So he know as well as they know they're gonna need him to play and step up for sure if they
They
gonna win this
will.
series.
They will. But also and this is my concern with Kyle Lowry is he's also trying to come back off a hamstring injury. And I know he was out the last 13 days, but when you come back and then you instantly get to pushing yourself and how he was pushing in Game 1, especially from what we've seen from a track record of NBA players trying to come back from hamstring injuries, usually when they come back and play at such a pace like that in that first game, especially in the playoffs, since the games are a lot closer, they usually end up sitting out another game because they leg has to take that time to recuperate from playing at game speed. So I'm not saying he's not going to try and suit up, but having to come off a hamstring and playing and trying to play at game speed and do what he has to do defensively, and try and like maintain them, it's a lot to ask. I'm not saying he can't handle it, but it's a lot to ask, especially with Jimmy Butler potentially being down, because he's gonna have to do a lot more in the first half than he did last game with Jimmy Butler being there at least in the first half. If he
That's
plays, if
that's
the
another
both of them
reason I'm
play,
wondering. I wonder if Jimmy gonna try to, you know, come out and shoot for the stars in this next game. Because I mean, they, what I'm saying, the Warriors looking like they finna get some rest. So you know what I'm saying. If you going into this series finna drain yourself, it's like the bubble year 2.0. You had all that, went through all that to get to the finals, and now you going against This team who then walked their way and rested, and now they, just waiting on you to come exhaust yourself some more. So I don't know, but Boston, I think Boston got to figure it out, man. It's some of these games they shouldn't be losing, and I think that's the thing.
Facts.
Like they shouldn't have
Facts.
lost last game. I'm sorry, they shouldn't. There's no reason they should have lost. With or without Robert Williams, they should have lost the last game. Jaylen Brown was giving everything he had. Marcus Smart came out, was balling. Jason Tatum didn't show up for whatever reason. You know what I'm saying? I mean, he
Oh,
been
there's no
showing up
reason why.
all playoffs. So I mean, it's gonna happen eventually, But I just hope that it don't, for Boston's sake, that it don't keep happening.
To be
So
honest, a lot of them shots last game, it wasn't even that he wasn't. A lot of them shots wasn't falling. He was getting open looks, and when he got his open looks, he would take them. It's just you had a nights where the
well,
ball
you
just
gotta
don't
find a way.
fall.
You gotta find a way, just like the Dallas Mavericks. I mean, they all shooting open shots left and right. Every player on the Dallas Mavericks is sitting here shooting open threes, like it's open
And
season, and they
breaking.
not even. You feel me? And clanking off the rim. So I don't even,
But he was also getting to the rim too. It was just one of them nights for him where the ball just wasn't. It just wasn't getting in the rim. Like there was some layups that he normally makes that they spun out the rim. Like it was just one of them nights where even when he got the shots that he normally makes, they just wasn't dropping.
And that's when you learn and you go to Jaylen Brown early and you go to Marcus Smart early. You get Horford involved because he is an energy guy and you need that energy. You see what I'm saying? You can't just have him with no energy out there shooting threes. He's not gonna make them. He ain't got no energy. He not teed up. You know what I'm saying? Like you got that's when they should have been riding Jaylen Brown that whole game instead of towards the end like that. The
They
third,
did
fourth
rob him the
quarter.
whole game.
It was spurts. It was in spurts. They would ride him while they expecting Jason Tatum to get back to himself. You see what I'm saying? As opposed to just
I mean, can you
riding with
blame him
him.
for doing that though?
Yes, in the sense, because if you just ride with him and then just let Tatum get in where he could fit in, kind of how the Bulls do with Levine and DeRozan, they would have had more success.
That's because Levine and DeRozan on the same level. Like
They would
JB and JT ain't really on the same level.
not far either. So what?
You're right, they not far, but they not on the same level.
You know what I'm saying? You saying that because you're going to get JT that edge, but Jaylen Brown will give you everything he give you and was
No,
doing it before.
the reason why I'm saying that is because those politics matter in the NBA. Like, you gonna want your best guy to look good, or at least give him the chance to look good whenever you can. Everybody else get in when they fit in. Jaylen Brown get first scraps after
Yeah, that's
Jason
facts.
Tatum.
That's
Just
facts.
Okay, but you got
that
to look at the
he was
difference.
hitting his shots.
But you got to look at the difference. For example, them Cleveland teams, bro. When Kyrie was eating and carrying the team, they rode that Kyrie wave, and LeBron got his where he fit. You see what I'm saying? How often do LeBron get his where he
The
fit?
reason
It's
the
very
reason why
rare.
is
That's a
But
because the
but
that's a
reason
when they
why
difference.
seen
hold
when
on,
they
hold on,
seen
hold on, hold on.
Kyrie
I'm finna answer
leading and
that.
carrying him the way and on, he let him do it. You see what I'm
All
saying? And he
right,
got
and
his where he fit,
I'm finna
which
answer
is
this for you
what
though,
Tatum
Mike.
was supposed to do in that game.
Those teams are
Forcing
different.
shots and trying to.
Those teams are different simply because the next, like when they came to those Cleveland teams, everybody knew LeBron will have the ball in his hands or Kyrie will have the ball in his hands. Don't nobody else matter. With this Boston team, it's a little different.
They
Like
all matter.
JT get the ball, he matter. JB get the ball, he matter. Marcus Smart got to get some of his touches. Got to make sure Grant Williams out there getting some touches. Got to make
They
sure
only
Robert
get
Williams
touches
getting
if
some
they open.
touches.
They're not getting no touches. They only get them touches if they open. If you open, here you go.
Marcus Smart is the exception to that. They do let Marcus Smart actually ice on, go 1-on-1 and get to the rim, which does work out for them a lot.
That's what I'm
Yeah,
saying.
they'll let
It's
him do
another
it, but
guy they put the
he the
ball in their
oldest player on the
hands.
team, so you know what I'm saying. He kind of earned that in his right. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying.
right. But I'm saying like when you have three people who you put in the ball in the hand, it's less shots to go around as opposed to two.
Marcus Smart is not occupying shots up like that. He shoot the ball when they need him to. He don't even be trying to shoot it like that. He shoot the ball when ain't nobody else coming through.
He definitely that third fiddle. I ain't saying that he get the same amount of shots as Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown. I'm just saying he get his portion. His portion is bigger than everybody else's, but not as big as JB and JT.
Well, that's a given. Ain't gonna be.
Well, I'm saying that percentage matters. You know what I'm saying? That it takes away from the top two guys getting all the shots they want.
Especially because another reason it's kind of different because LeBron is also primary ball handler, so LeBron is setting up the offense. Neither one of them are necessarily like primary ball handlers set up the offense guys. They are passers. They are good at passing the ball.
That means it should have been even easier for them to let Jaylen Brown lead the way because they not the ones who orchestrating it. That's my whole point. It should have been even easier for them to let him lead the way, as opposed to still trying to let Jason Tatum lead the way.
That's not how their offense works, though.
Are you doing how your offense works? Or are you trying to win the game? Because you're not going to win every game exactly how your offense works. That's where the quote adjustments come into play. That's where adjustments come into play. And had they made them adjustments and let that man lead the way, they probably would have been sitting better off, especially with Jimmy.
I'm finna tell you why they couldn't make those adjustments. Can I have my take now? I bet.
Yeah, we're gonna move on. Phil, I'm sorry. I was enjoying the debate. What's your thoughts on the game threes, Eastern and Western Conference Finals?
All right, so in terms of the Eastern Conference, this is why I think now, like I always say, you get a post for the series once you get to game three. And what I've seen so far in this Eastern Conference Finals is that if Boston is turning the ball over, they're going to lose. Like no ifs, ands, or buts about it. This Miami defense is too good and too fast. Will turn you over and get a bunch of easy buckets because that's their formula for y'all. Like turn them over, get as many easy buckets as possible, and essentially let Jimmy take us home. That's the game plan for Miami, and it's working for them because what I see Miami has been doing is they're trying to force Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum to be primary playmakers, which isn't their strong suit. And you see
they're gonna take the shot instead of hitting the open man. Exactly.
Right, and when they try to hit the open man, the pass isn't accurate because
they throwing lazy passes.
You know what's crazy?
Just lost it.
What the Miami Heat is doing to them is exactly what the Boston Celtics have been doing to everybody else in the playoffs. But even with all that said, oh yeah, one more thing, because one other thing y'all forgot about the whole 40 points from Jaylen Brown. He had 6 turnovers in that game.
Exactly.
Trying to do too much.
That's really a lot of them turnovers came in the first half when they was throwing them lazy passes. A lot of them turnovers came in the first quarter when they was throwing them lazy passes, and like in the first quarter they got up to like 12. They got up to like almost 10 to 12 turnovers. I think in the first quarter alone.
They had a lot in the fourth too, though, and you can't do that in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, they did because they was pressing because they was down by so much. Yeah. But this is my takeaway from it. I still have Boston winning this series because mainly one reason is because this series, like, it feels just like it felt last round against Milwaukee.
Yeah.
Milwaukee came in game 1, beat the crap out of them. Boston came back, beat the crap out of them. Game 3, it was like a seesaw. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. But I still have faith in Boston. But they have to stop turning the ball over. Like they gotta clean that up. And it was something that you said, Carnell, that I honestly didn't agree with. And you said, and it's the thing about Robert Williams. I personally don't think they need Robert Williams to beat this Miami Heat team. I think they need to use the other Williams more, Grant Williams. And the reason why is because Grant Williams allows him to switch everything, like everything, any pick and rolls and all that. You don't have that same luxury when you have Robert Williams in, and it's mainly because he ain't 100%, so you're not gonna have the best version of him. But Grant Williams can provide all that switching for you. He about the same height, he got good feet, and he doesn't hurt you offensively either. Now, I'm not saying Grant Williams does, but he improves the spacing when they play him and Horford together as opposed to playing Williams and Horford. So I personally think that Grant Williams is more of a key to them winning this series as opposed to Robert Williams. I still think they need Robert Williams to win the championship, though.
True
I don't
that.
think they need. I don't think they need to switch against Miami though. Why would they be switching on Miami?
I get
Miami's
no,
not a
no,
big
no, no,
team.
no, 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 no. They
It's
definitely they definitely
it's,
need to switch everything. And last game and game one are a prime example of that. When they don't switch and they try and go under the
They got
screen.
PJ Tuck out there shooting them corner threes.
Yeah, bro, they got PJ Tuck out there shooting the threes.
because
Gabe
that's
Vincent,
something but
Struz.
that's not because of switching. That they literally chose to live with that. A lot of them PJ Tucker threes, they could have rotated out on that, but they was like, let them shoot it.
That's the problem though. If he's not choosing to rotate out there, then get Grant Williams in there because he's out there rotating. That's the whole point I'm trying to make.
But Robert
I'm
Williams
saying
was.
I'm saying the Celtics as a team was choosing not to rotate out on them PJ Tucker threes. They was letting that man shoot. They wanted to live with them shots, which is kind of cool. But it's honestly it's just the ones they let him shoot. Like y'all let him shoot the ones in rhythm where the heat flowing and all of that. Like of course he about to make those.
Yeah, and you know what I feel like that's an adjustment the coaching needs to make.
Was getting out there on that. Robert Williams wasn't letting that happen. That's part of the reason why. Because like even look at last game. In that first quarter, when they was getting outworked by Miami for some of them 50-50 balls, just the fact that he's out there, a lot of that don't happen like that because he's not going. Even with him not being 100%. When he's on the court, ain't nobody outworking him.
I'm not saying don't play him at all. I'm just saying like for this series, you could probably bring him off the bench. I think they better off by starting Grant Williams in this series, like
with
just
Horford,
this series.
Definitely.
That's what I feel. I think they should bring Robert Williams off the bench, and then when they get past
they need
Miami
him for them spurts. They need him.
Yeah, like, and he can give that to them still. You know what I'm saying?
But that's part of the reason why they start him because he allows them to come out and get out to that early start and set that edge and set that tempo.
They don't need that though. They could do it without him. They need him in the fourth for when they need a spurt or after halftime when they need a spurt. You see what I'm saying? Stuff like that. In the first, they can create them spurts themselves. I mean, Jason Tatum gonna come out and hit 3 threes as soon as the game starts. Like and if he don't hit them, Jaylen Brown gonna hit them. Like they don't get that spurt themselves from the start usually.
And
so
I'm actually
you don't got to worry about that too often.
I'm actually glad you also said that, Mike, because I think that's another key for the Celtics winning this series. They gotta hit their shots. They gotta hit them shots, and because it's just like Milwaukee. Milwaukee gonna let. Even though Miami's 3-point defense is great, I think, the Celtics shooters are bigger than the Miami Heat. Like, they can kind of see over those guys. Like, JT 6'9", JB 6'7", Marcus Smart 6'4".
That was clear in game 2.
So, like, a lot of those shots that the Miami Heat can go out there and defend, like, them boys ain't really seeing them. Like, Strus, he's 6'5". Hero 6'5". And they not great defense. Like Gabe Vincent, he's 6'3". Kyle Lowry barely scratching 6 feet. You know what I'm saying?
Like you noticed in game 3, Jaylen Brown was just shooting right over them.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Right over them.
And honestly, and the other key for the Celtics to win, Jimmy Butler can't come back.
Facts.
Jimmy Butler gotta stay.
Because they low key don't have an answer for him. And I don't think it's that they don't have an answer for him. I think it's just they more focused on the team as opposed to trying to answer him. And he creating too many problems for them.
Honestly, they don't need to find an answer for Jimmy. They just need to match his production where Jason Tatum comes in.
And that's where Robert Williams comes in the key because he brings that edge that Jimmy it's that type of edge that he set on the defensive side early. When he come out and get them early blocks on them early shot attempts, they come out. They got an easy layup.
It's different with Jimmy. Like for Jimmy, it's the entire game. Like everything he brings to the table is elevated. You feel me? Like, cause I'm sorry, man. Even though I picked the Celtics to win this series, Jimmy Butler, one of my favorite players in the league, and I always felt like he was so underrated to me because his impact on the game was never what you saw in the stat sheet. Even though he'll put up okay stats, but he had a superstar impact on the game all the time. And I remember arguing with one particular person on here that he was better than Paul George, and I don't know if he still feel the same way today, but I was right. So, but Jimmy, if Jimbo Slice come back, it's gonna look ugly for the Celtics because he's a big reason why Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown was getting all them was turning the ball over so much. Like when I say impact on the game, he's the one that came out the gate, getting in their face, causing them turnovers. You feel me? But I have faith in Boston. Like I said, I believe in that team. I believe in that coaching. I think that Miami is too hurt because I think you need a Kyle Lowry to have some of them Toronto Raptor playoff run games in order to beat this team. And you're going to need some performances like what you have from Adebayo. But to Mike's point, I think that's the reason why you got those kind of guys around Jimmy Butler because we know Jimmy Butler going to come for the ride. He just need one to come with him, just one. And on any given night, it could be either Bam, it could be Tyler, or it could even be Kyle Lowry. Like, that's what's awesome about this.
You get something out of him, man.
Or Oladipo. I kind of count Oladipo with the next tier of guys, like the Gabe Vincents and the Max Strus guys. Because, they just need to hit a few shots to do their job. Not saying that Oladipo is that level of player. I'm just saying that's all they need from him.
Yeah, but since he could give more though, he could be that person. Like I ain't gonna lie, bro.
Oh, you're right. You are absolutely
the numbers
right.
like kind of like what you saying about Jimmy. The numbers don't really show it, bro. But without him in Game 3, bro, they would have got worked, bro.
His defense was outrageous,
up, bro. Locking up. I ain't seen that.
He looked like a healthy Victor Oladipo, at least.
Yes, bro. He was locking up. I was like, hey, he single-handedly was keeping them in possession with just his defense. Like,
and that is also another guy who can. To me, he kind of like Marcus Smart on the defensive end. He's technically a small guard, but he long and he come at you. He ain't no little dude, and he definitely brought it to Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown.
Facts. Everything everybody said is
I'm ready for this Western Conference though.
Everybody is we gonna
Mania is over.
We're gonna move on to the Western Conference. Carnell,
all right, y'all. That's the end of the show. We'll catch y'all next time.
Carnell, I already know how you feel. I wanna give Mike 3 minutes to talk about the Golden State Warriors because he just So
you might as well go ahead and let him have his time, man. Let him glow.
Mike, your 3 minutes starts now.
Oh man, well I gotta start. Hey man, look, I just want to start off by saying I want my dad Cokes. You know what I'm saying? I want my dad Cokes.
We even.
Golden State went up 2-0. You know what I'm saying? I don't know why y'all think nobody was gonna go up 2-0. Like I said, everybody is just gonna be a bunch of 1-1 series. Like I just can't see that happening. And the proof was in the pudding. Like I said, it's not just going to be a bunch of 1-1 series everywhere. Somebody going up 2-0.
It was supposed
Golden State the team to do it. Like I said,
definitely was supposed
to. The Mavericks, they like Jay. I don't know if y'all seen, but Jason Kidd said it in his press conference. None of y'all expected them to be there, and it's that and third. So, hey, what he said is all true. We didn't expect y'all to be here. Y'all here. It's impressive. You know what I'm saying? Y'all essentially is Joe Burrow in Cincinnati in the Super Bowl. You had a great year. You showed out. You was impressive. But now it's over. You know what I'm saying? Let's see what you come back and do next year.
You would have did better comparing him to his counterpart that he was traded for.
Who?
Trae Young. It's like the same thing last year.
Hey, yeah. I guess you could say that.
It actually is.
Yeah,
nobody expected the Hawks to get to the Eastern Conference Finals last year.
The only thing about how the Hawks went, I expected them to get there just based on how they matches played up. Like I didn't expect them to lose none of them series that they had. I didn't expect them to lose to the Knicks, and then the series in the second round. I knew they was gonna win that series just because I'm like the way they just beat the Knicks, they going at least to the conference finals. You know what I'm saying? Based on who they was playing, it was only based on who they was playing. It was the only reason that I was giving them the edge. I'm like, oh, they got the Knicks, yeah, they gonna win that. Oh, I forgot who they played in the second
They
round.
played Philly.
They played Philly.
And that's exactly why.
The whole
You
Ben,
know
the
I
whole
don't
Ben
trust
Simmons
Philly.
debacle.
You know I don't trust Philly. You see what I'm saying? So that's it. So I said it. That's they gonna beat Philly. You know what I'm saying? Watch out. So that's the only reason where it's a little different for me is just because based on when they matchups came, I expected them to get there. The Mavericks, I can't quite say I expected them to get there, but I didn't know who they was gonna lose to. That was the only thing. I wasn't sure. Because, I mean, it's Luka and Luka Mania, and I might not be a major fan, but he going to make you a major fan. You know what I'm saying? That boy be balling out. I can't deny
Luka
that.
Magic.
So, but Golden State, like I've been telling y'all from the beginning of the season, they back. Clay, I told y'all when he come back, if he come back a fraction of what he was, it's over. And you getting more than that fraction. He hitting these threes, he driving again, he playing some defense. Clay back. He ain't 100% back, you could tell, but he back. And
Game 6
80%,
Clay is definitely real, unfortunately.
80% of Clay is better than no Clay. You know what I'm saying? Steph, Clay, Dre, they getting it done. Andrew Wiggins balling like he on a mission, and Golden State is back. I'm glad to see it. I'm happy to see it, man. Hey,
That's because he was off that mission for like 3 months.
who?
Andrew Wiggins, he was off that mission for 3 months. After the All-Star
Well,
game, we didn't
I
know who
mean,
he was.
for me personally, he only on a mission because he on Golden State, and he knows the potential that you have when you on a Golden State led team. You know what I'm saying? So he
No,
noticed his
and what
chance
I'm
at
telling
rings
you is
and
that
everything.
he balling like he was at the beginning of the season, but he wasn't like
All
that
right.
after the All-Star break.
I mean, he took a break. He took a break.
Andrew
You know what I'm saying?
Andrew
Ain't
Wiggins
no wrong with that. When you the
Andrew
number one
Wiggins
team heading into All-Star break or whatever, you can take a little break. You know what I'm saying?
Andrew Wiggins nickname should be the pipe because you know that boy can either be really hot or he can be really cold. You feel me?
But my
Fact.
biggest thing is to people like Carneal who tried to say, "Oh, the Mavs got this firepower and they gonna score, and you saw how they did the Suns and this, that, and the third." Listen, man, like I've been telling y'all, you know, Golden State not Phoenix, and Golden State is not too many teams that's gonna match that firepower. Luka
Fact.
alone might match it for one game. That's gonna be,
Fact.
you know what I'm saying? That's the one that I told y'all the Warriors in 5. But either way, it's not going to be enough. Luka can score 60 a night. It's not going to be enough. It's not. The Warriors got too much firepower. He going to score 60, and Steph, Clay, and Pooh all got 30. So guess what? That's 90 to his 60. So either way it go, it's not going to be enough. And that was my biggest thing heading into the Mavs-Warriors series. No matter what the Mavs do, bring, you know, how they compete, they not going to have enough firepower to keep up with the Warriors. And
At
through three
all.
games, that's what Golden State showed y'all. Everybody tried to say after the blowout in game 1 that it's just one game, they'll figure it out. Turn around. Yeah, they're going to figure something out, but they still ain't going to figure out how to match that firepower. So they keep trying.
Yep.
Keep trying. Y'all had a good year. I love my man, Jay Kidd. He's a great coach. They'll be back. They'll be in the mix. You know what I'm saying? For some time to go. But y'all might as well say what Memphis said, man. Y'all getting old. We still going to be here. So ride that wave, young dudes, because right now it's Golden State time again.
All right. So we let him talk his shit. We let him talk his shit. But I'm gonna tell you right now, Mike. I'm gonna tell you a team next year to watch out for, and then we gonna move on to the next topic. New Orleans.
Oh yeah, CJ, no doubt. Zion coming back. My boy
Hold
Bi. Y'all know
on.
about them Duke
And
players,
man,
man.
Willie Green. Like
Oh yeah, they definitely gonna be a problem.
they say they franchise. I think they say they franchise. Say Zion leaving because Phil, you was just sold on him going to New York, and I was like, nah, he ain't gonna
Bruh,
leave.
Wait.
Zion capped, first of all. Like, let's be real. Zion capped. Because he was definitely on his way out of he saw them
I'm
have a nice little showing in the playoffs and was like, oh, we could probably beat something if I was here. Like,
I'm not gonna
man,
I'm
Zion
not
capped.
gonna lie to y'all. For as much as y'all say that I still think Zion might pull. I still think Zion might pull that card and go here to New York because he just
Bro, he
he
gonna be
just
worse though.
Facts.
Yeah,
Ain't
why would
nothing
he
for
go to
you in
New
New
York
York,
now,
bruh.
Cornell?
Why would anybody go to New York?
The
Yeah,
Garden
look, they about to trade Julius Randle.
for
They about
Zion.
to trade RJ Barrett.
exactly, bro. That's exactly what I was finna say, bro.
They finna get all three of them clowns from Duke together.
That's it,
They
bro.
definitely is.
That's
They
bro,
definitely
and
is.
that's
They
my read.
definitely is. Gonna put Zion,
That
Cam,
that that
and RJ together.
that is
And
honestly my
it's gonna
reason
be
for him.
exactly how it was in
I
Duke.
was just about to say that though.
Zion and
I was just about
RJ
to
gonna
say
get you
that.
stuff.
Exactly, but
Everybody know
that
RJ ain't got a right hand and Cam gonna barely beat her.
I
that
was
was
just about to say
honestly
that. I was like,
that was
and when the
honestly
playoffs
my
come, they not gonna show
that
up.
is that is my
It's just like the
exact
tournament.
reason that is my exact reason for him going to New York because I honestly think Zion Williamson really wants to play with his college teammates again. I'm not gonna lie. I
They
really
they
think
probably do. All three of them probably do want to stay together, but they're not gonna win nothing, bro. They let me down and do. I
And
was
that
so
and
disappointed.
that's exactly
Man, I was so disappointed.
and that's exactly why I was too. You talking about that? You talking about that 2019 tournament?
I
I
was
was
so happy they
so pissed
lost.
off, so pissed off because
It's
with that
crazy though,
team
because I
they
know
had,
Phil. Remember, I told you Phil somebody was gonna upset them. I told you that.
that team
I
they
told
So
you
had,
that too.
they
even though in
should
my
have went
bracket I be
all
having
the
them go all
way.
the way, I told you somebody was gonna upset
They
them.
should have went all the
It was two
way.
storybook. It was two storybooks. Somebody was gonna upset them. I knew it.
But
I knew it.
I just got something to say about this Western Conference fiasco that we've been witnessing. I was actually right. If the Mavs hit shots, they can beat them. It's just that
I
only
said the same
but
thing.
out of the three games that they have played, the Mavs only shot the ball well for one half. But to Mike's point, the Warriors just got too much firepower. Like it's been proven. And the pulse of this series is looking like Luka Mania is finna catch a broom because they finna get swept 4-5. Like, and it's not even Luka's fault. It's just literally
It's
because
not.
the Mavs can't hit enough. Like, the requirement for the Mavs to even be competitive was that they were going to have to hit a high number of 3-point shots. And the fact that they're not hitting them is the literal reason why they're in the hole right now. Because let's be real, you're not gonna exactly stop the Golden State offense. Like, one of them dudes gonna go crazy. One of them is, and then like it's gonna be like another dude to have a okay game, and then the other dudes have high games. But to be honest, Andrew Wiggins is really the extra edge that they. I ain't gonna say they need it,
X factor.
but he's definitely showing that he's the X factor for them because he's not KD, but he's doing the
It's
things
like
that was
Harrison Barnes,
required.
bro. It's like when they had
Exactly,
Harrison
like I
Barnes.
said,
He's doing the things that was required
the
of
Warriors
KD,
need a two-way win.
except in my opinion, I think that Andrew Wiggins has way more athleticism, so it looks way more exciting. You feel me? Because he called Luka twice that last game, but we ain't gonna talk about that.
It was a foul. It was a foul.
They recreated that 14-15 year with Harrison Barnes, and I figured that's what they was gonna do, or at least that was their game plan.
Andrew Wiggins got to hit them free throws though. Like,
man, I did not realize he was that bad at free throws.
And to be honest, like, even though Andrew Wiggins will show it when he wants to, for real. Like, some games he'll explode on the screen. There'll be some games where
He's
where he
very
at?
recognized.
It's Mr. Inconsistency.
Yeah, but I think that inconsistency is fine with this Golden State team because they got three other guys that can get you 30 or 40.
They don't need you every night. Yeah,
exactly. And that's why the emergence of Jordan Poole was so like essential for this team.
Andrew Wiggins let me down. He was supposed to be better than what he was, than what he is.
Facts. That's how I feel about Marcus Smart.
Well, Andrew Wiggins is
you wasn't never even a Marcus Smart fan. So don't say that.
What you mean, bro?
if you gonna say that, Mike, you might as well say Andrew Wiggins is a bust.
Exactly, bro. If you gonna say
Going
that,
off of
bro,
your
Andrew Wiggins is a
standards,
bust then, bro.
he
He's
was
a
the number
straight
one
up draft
overall
bust
pick,
then.
and he literally just made his first All-Star team this year. He
But the
damn near
average
got
come
that by
up though
default though.
multiple times though. Any number one pick, the average of dub multiple times can't be no bust.
I'm just saying, based on your
He averaged at least.
standards,
Nah,
he
Andrew
averaged a
Wiggins.
dub. He averaged a dub
Marcus
twice
Smart
in
ain't
his
a good
Andrew
career.
Wiggins.
comparison.
Andrew,
As you
that was
as
cool
you
enough for
told
me.
me
He did it.
as you told me with the Warriors had Draymond and Steph wasn't a good enough comparison. You can't compare Wiggins to Marcus Smart. He wasn't the number one draft pick.
They
All
was
right,
still top
fellas,
five.
we gotta move on
He
to
was
our
top
last.
10.
We gotta move on to our last topic. So it has been reported. So LeVar Ball, of all people, went on a sports podcast and stated that he believes Zach LaVine is not going to re-sign with the Chicago Bulls. So he
Okay,
feels
listen to
that Zach
LeVar.
is upset or tired or is not trying to be the second, is not trying to be the Robin to DeMar DeRozan's Batman. So if Zach LaVine does not resign, what do you think the Bulls should do? Should they draft a two guard with the 18th pick? Or should they move DeRozan to the 2 and go with a starting 5 of Ball, DeRozan, Patrick Williams, draft a power forward, and Nikola Vucevic? Let's start with Phil. Phil, what's your take on this?
Yeah, let me start on this because I know y'all the homers, so I'm gonna let y'all marinate on this a little bit. But
It's the Bulls, so he finna cap.
no, I always give honest takes on even teams I don't like. I give honest takes on them. Y'all just be triggering me, so I gotta bring out all the hype, bring down all the hype. But anyway, first of all, Zach LaVine sound like KD when he talking about something. I don't want to be the second fiddle. Like, come on now, bro. First of all, you was never the second fiddle. Like, you was literally the guy in Chicago for what 6-7 years, and y'all didn't make the playoffs. Like, not 1 year did y'all make the playoffs. And honestly, like, even with DeRozan being at least this is what I said. I felt like as long as Zach LaVine was the best player, they could do something. Because DeMar gonna be DeMar. That's what we have found out. DeMar gonna be DeMar regardless. It's just that DeMar ain't gonna be the best player on a championship team. Like, he'll be if anything, he the second fiddle. He's just a really good second fiddle. But I I don't know because I think that, but there's been talks that he want to go to LA. I honestly don't know how that would exactly work out or even manifest.
It would have to be in a
wait.
signing trade. It would
Yeah, I was about to say,
have to.
I'm pretty sure y'all know what's going on with that for real. So I'm gonna
Carneal
let
gonna
And
y'all.
give you the perfect
Yeah, I was about to
scenario.
say, I'm gonna let
if
y'all
it's
get
a
on that.
signing trade, what D boy really wants to happen is gonna come true because that's the only way that's gonna go down.
Yeah, but it honestly, wherever unless it's to the Lakers, like where else can he really go where he can, I guess, be the guy, and they could still win? I don't
That's
really.
the topic Carneal finna tell y'all.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, I'm gonna let him have that. But it's not even a knock against Zach LaVine. I think Zach LaVine is a very good player, and he could possibly be a great player. It's just I don't know. I don't think he should lead the Bulls. I think they got a good thing going over there. Um, but that's pretty much it. I don't think he should leave. I think the Bulls should try their best to keep him. If they don't keep him, I think they should. I don't think they should go into the draft trying to replace him in the draft. I think they can do that in free agency, and they don't need to bring one person in to exactly replace what Levine brings to the team.
That's interesting.
Mike, what's your take on this?
So before I get into that, who could they bring in as a replacement? Just give me like a potentially. Since you
Man,
said it ain't gonna be
are
like
they
Buck
really
Wild, give me like 2 signings or something.
2 signings? It's to me, it's not exactly signings. It's like for me, if you want to replace the type of production Levine gets, you obviously need more. You would need guys like Kobe White and Io to step up. Obviously, offensively,
Fact.
you would need those guys to step up, and you would just need to bring in if you want to replace his offense. I think you can just bring in guys who can add to the core of the offense, which will probably be DeRozan and Vooch, and what they bring to the table.
I
I
don't
think
think
you would.
that's gonna work out. Only
I'm not
because
saying it's gonna work out. I'm just saying I think that'd be best for the team because
no,
like
yeah, I know what you mean.
they're not gonna.
I don't think it'll work.
It's not much else they can do in all honesty without blowing that team up.
Because Io gonna develop, but I don't think his scoring gonna develop
He's not gonna
into
develop that fast.
that scoring. I think he's just gonna develop into a nice guard. You know what I'm saying?
He gonna become Marcus Smart, if
Line,
not
you know what I'm
slightly
saying?
better.
No, I'm not.
A
I'm not
nice guard
saying that.
type.
I'm not saying
Now,
that. He one of those guys that can come off the bench and give you 30. I'm just
now if
saying
they do that, Kobe White got to step up. And when I
that
say step up,
that's really the guy.
when I say
That's really
step
the guy.
up, we need you to do what you was doing with Levine, you know what I'm saying, rookie season. You know what I'm saying, going 30 for 30s, hitting 8 threes, you know, or 6 threes, however
Off
many,
the
whatever.
bench, like he
You know
can
what I'm
do that
saying?
off the bench.
We need that about you, but it's gotta be consistent. You know what I'm saying? It's gotta be Tyler Hero 6th man of the year consistent at the very least. Cause he inconsistent with it. But it's gotta be, you know, at least on that level, you know what I'm saying, to even try to replace that. So I can see where you're coming from on that, but I just don't think that's the best option for them to go with, which you probably don't either, but you know, it's just a option. So um man, this is tricky because the Bulls is kind of in a. I feel like the Bulls is in the same situation they was in when they had Wade, Butler, and Rondo. Like you a good team, and that's what you are. You know what I'm saying? You'll win some games, you'll lose some games, but overall, what's the goal? And I don't know what the thing about. I didn't know what the goal was when we got rid of Jimmy for Levine, and then now we go, you know, however many 5 years later, however many years later, I still don't see what the goal is. I don't. Even if we bring Levine back, what's the goal? Now we got more of a purpose. We just made the playoffs. They're trying to build off that. Maybe we can make some noise in the next 2 years. I can see that. You see what I'm saying? Now, before this pickup of the road and all that, nothing made sense.
So
Nothing.
so
None of that
so
made
so
sense.
the only reason it seems like it didn't make sense is because it wasn't the right. First of all, it's a completely different front office this year from what we had previously. It's
And
no
that's
longer.
been a problem. I mean, our front office has been a problem since the 90s at the least.
But now we actually have a GM that's focused on trying to get it right. And part of the problem was the Bulls didn't hit on none of them draft picks except for Kobe White.
They
All
barely hit on Kobe White.
and we barely hit on Kobe White. Laurie
I think
Markkinen,
they hit on Io though. I think
but
they're gonna hit on Io.
Io is part of this new regime. Excluding Io, everybody else was uh um a Gar Forman, John Paxson pick.
Yeah, like
Except for
Denzel
Paxson.
Yeah,
Valentine.
yeah. We drafted Denzel Valentine.
That was a good one. That was a good one. That was a draft day special.
Bro, I was so mad we drafted him that high. I was so mad we drafted him that high.
Oh my
Like
God, bro.
he put up okay numbers at Michigan State, and that was good enough to draft him. I think what we drafted him 14, and it was still so many other
Man,
better players left.
We've been having a lot of lottery
Denzel
picks.
Valentine legit got drafted just because he played with Draymond Green the year before.
We've been having a lot of lottery picks, and ain't none of our lottery picks even survived in the
They're not even
league.
rotation guys.
Look, they ain't even survived in the league, half of them. So like, I don't know. That's clearly where they dropped the ball at. You got rid of, you know what I'm saying, Rose and Butler and all of that to build for the future, and completely dropped the future. So
That
now
idea wasn't bad though. They just screwed up
they dropped the future. Exactly.
Yeah,
They
they
dropped
just
it. They
screwed
dropped
it
the
up.
ball on
The
it.
idea wasn't bad though. They just screwed that up.
I wasn't mad at that, but I was kind of mad at how they did it because I felt like y'all ain't have to get rid of Jimmy for that. You know what I'm saying? Y'all could have
They
just
definitely got rid of Jimmy Butler, who was supposed to be a star player for somebody that came off the bench. And he
y'all
developed
could
into a
have
star player.
They
He came off the
did.
bench.
They didn't
y'all
have
could
to
have just
get rid of Jimmy
put some
for
pieces
that, but
around.
like, as much as we know Jimmy is loyal, who's to say he would have wanted to stick around through like an actual rebuild though?
It wouldn't have been
I
as
think
bad. They
he
probably
already
wouldn't
said that
even.
he wasn't gonna stick with a rebuild. I believe.
He
And I
wouldn't have
think,
had to though.
and I
He
think
wouldn't
that's
have
why
had
they
to.
I
did
think
that.
that's the main reason why he ended up in Minnesota.
That's why they did that because the Bulls was about to try and rebuild around him, but he didn't necessarily want to sit through that.
Boy, they was
But
gonna be hot
that's because the way
garbage.
they preached to him. They wasn't trying to rebuild like um. Ooh, I'm drawing a blank right now. Who is that just rebuilt and they've been a successful team? Kind of like the Lakers, I guess you could say, but that's not what I was thinking about. But they
Like
wasn't trying to
Denver.
they wasn't trying to rebuild and still be successful. Like they was trying to rebuild. Like, oh, we finna tank for 3 years and
Yeah. Oh, like
get.
Philly.
Yeah, like that. That's what they
Process.
was on. They like we finna tank for 3 years and get three number one picks, and then in 3 years, Jimmy, you and them three number one picks is gonna be that guy. Like
Mm-hmm.
no, like that's not how it worked, and it made sense. It's even more clear that that's what they tried to do when you look at how it happened. Y'all traded him for, like you said, somebody who came off the bench, developed to a star. I mean, everybody knew Levine was gonna develop to a star. I did for sure. I was starting him as a rookie in Minnesota on 2K. So I
Right.
mean,
I
we all
was
we
too.
all
I
knew that.
was too.
Yeah,
We
he
all
he
knew that.
definitely
You know
was
what I'm
already
saying?
nice.
Yeah, we all knew that. But you know what I'm saying? But still the point still remains, I got rid of him for somebody off the bench and then try to turn him to a star. So it's like that right there shows that you finna try to tank and get three number one picks for the next couple of years. And then they tried that, couldn't even get no top 5 picks
And
for
dropped the ball
years.
on all they high
Couldn't get
picks.
no top 5 picks. And then the way the drafts worked, the best players was outside the top 5. And y'all still didn't get none. Like I don't know. I
Yeah,
don't
that
know what
that
else.
that, that Donovan
Got
Mitchell
facts for
one,
you.
that's a crazy one to me, Donovan Mitchell. That's a crazy one.
Oh my goodness, bro. Oh my
That
goodness.
I still don't understand that one to this day. And I saw him in college.
Wasn't that when we
Man's
got
hair was
Lori? Wasn't
yeah,
that
I
when we got
think that
Lori?
year. I think y'all had the 7th pick that year and picked
And
Lori.
then they drafted they like we got Wendell and shopped them off. Like and that
And
Wendell ball.
Wendell was nice.
I like the
Wendell
Wendell
was
pick. Like I didn't.
nice.
Exactly. I like the Wendell pick. So I don't. But in
And
their
he
defense, they did
flourishing
get
in
Vooch.
Orlando right now.
So I only reason I ain't too mad at that is because we got Vooch. And Vooch, you know what I'm saying? Vooch ain't nothing to joke about. But
Definitely got an all-star out the deal.
yeah,
He's
but
not.
If Donovan use him right, he ain't nothing to joke about.
But you
If
want to know
Donovan
what?
actually put some plays him like a big man and stop and trying to have him shoot 10 threes a game, yeah.
That's part of Vucevic game though. Like he
You
always
want to
been a
know?
yeah,
big
And
man
I
that could
understand.
shoot.
No, I'm not
yeah.
saying stop shooting threes completely. I'm just saying,
The
why are you taking
volume.
5 threes a game?
You talking about the
You want
volume
to?
of threes he's taking.
You want to know what's kind of funny though is we traded for Vooch to get us to get into back in the playoffs, but it's kind of funny because we're gonna have to trade him and Kobe White if we really want to win. We're gonna have to package Vooch and White together to honestly try
Bro,
it.
you just want to trade Kobe White. You try to put Kobe White in any trade package the Bulls have. They could be trading for Felicio again, and you gonna try to
No,
throw
I
Kobe
no,
White
mean,
in.
I
It
would
don't.
never.
It
I would
don't. It
never.
don't even matter, bro.
I
You
would
You
literally
never.
definitely
put
don't
Kobe
like
White.
Kobe White,
You
Carneal.
literally put Kobe White
It's
in
not
any
even.
trade
No,
package the
it's
Bulls
not
have,
even. It's
and then
not
you
even.
don't give them nothing in return. Like I
It's
don't.
not even.
Y'all
It's
keep
not
putting
even.
him in these
It's
packages, and we don't got nobody. Our problem is already getting buckets. It's been getting buckets for years now, and you still want to get rid of the few people that get the few buckets on the team.
Those are
I just
literally
don't.
the only other two people that be
I
getting
but
don't
I'm
buckets.
not.
understand it.
But
I don't understand it.
wait. Wait, hold on, Carnell. Let me just ask you this, Mike. And I know Kobe, your man, and all that. Yeah. What does Kobe give you if he not scoring?
That's why he come off the bench.
Exactly. And
I don't give a damn about him coming off the bench. What does he give you if he not scoring?
okay, but what do the Bulls need outside of scoring? What has the Bulls needed for years outside of scoring? Nothing. We had bigs, we had guards, we had all that. We had D. We can't score the ball. We ain't been able to score the ball since 08.
This is what I hope. This is what I hope happens, or happens, or has already happened. I hope Mark Eversley, and no, fuck that. Excuse my language, but it's the truth. I hope Arturas Karnisovas called Kobe White to his office and said exactly this. If you don't give me 20 a game, first half of next season, I'm going to ship your ass off before the deadline even get here. I'm going to give you half of next season.
And if I'm Kobe White, but you gotta
get him the chance to do it too. You can't just drop him to 8 minutes the next game because he had a bad game. Like y'all, let's not act like they don't be shorthanded him too.
I'm gonna work it out with Donovan where he's gonna get his opportunity. But I'm telling him, if you can't give me 20 a game, I'm gonna ship you out before the deadline.
That's fair. Here's the thing about this. All the times I don't mind shipping him off. It's not that I'm just so like, oh, hey, we keeping him. That's our guy. It's just the thing is, all these ship offs, we have no replacement. Everything that's been proposed and all of that, nothing comes back to replace that. And we already struggling with scoring. And so we can't afford to lose no more scoring that we not gonna replace. And that's been my biggest thing about him.
And y'all better not trade Vooch and Kobe White for some defensive players and rebounds.
Facts, because that's definitely something they would do. Get rid of him for Rudy Gobert or
even worse, a non-shooting perimeter guy.
Like I said, get rid of him for Rudy Gobert and Joe Ingles. Like that's something they would do. Like
I wasn't gonna say that. I was gonna say we could honestly try and go look for more for honestly.
You can get at the very least an all-star, 2 all-stars for that package.
Exactly, and that's exactly what I'm looking for. I'm not trying to ship him out for nothing less than at least
what 2 all-stars you gonna get? I don't know. That's a question y'all can answer.
Like teams don't even want to negotiate with us, bro. We don't even got trade bait. Like we don't
because teams
so
don't like
in the middle, bro. Like it don't make no sense.
Good. Because teams don't like when the Bulls are good, bro. When the Bulls are good, the NBA don't like it.
Evil empire. Let me just say this, and then let me say this, and I'm gonna go on to Carnell. Here's why you don't give Zach LaVine that $200 million.
Is that Supermax money?
Yeah, that's Supermax.
Oh man,
that's what he asking for.
I don't even think he eligible for that. He ain't make no All NBA teams.
Well, I take that back. He's eligible for the max, so that's like 100 or something.
I think he eligible for like 180 or something like that.
Oh, it's just a regular max. Okay.
But here's why you don't. Here's why you don't give it to him. And this is to Mike's point. Mike, how long he been here?
Yeah, a while.
Like 7 years, right?
Y'all forget though, his first 2 seasons he didn't really play because he was still out dealing with that ACL injury.
Mm-hmm.
So y'all
forget 7 years and you just not making the playoffs. But
but his numbers increased every year though.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
I don't care about numbers. Get me to the playoffs.
You know who else?
Our record technically have increased every year too, though. Even with him not making the playoffs.
He's part of the reason.
So every year is technically progress.
You know what I'm saying? He was the reason that none of our draft picks that we got in that trade with him turned into lottery picks, bro. Because when you got a player like Zach LaVine, bro, you have to try and trade for other good players. Because when you trade for somebody of that talent, that young, bro, it's gonna put you in a position to not get them lottery picks unless you don't play them.
Now, to his defense, I will give him this. He's a hell of a recruiter. And the reason I say he's a hell of a recruiter, because he had a hand in DeMar coming here. It was mainly Boots because of the relationship DeMar and Boots got because they played together at USC. But Zach played a little hand in that too. He's a hell of a recruiter. I mean, look, I'm not knocking Zach's talent. Zach a hell of a player. I just don't think he's $180, $180 million worth.
How much did you give him then, D-boy?
Yeah,
I wouldn't give him no 100. I give him what? You know what? I take that back. I
finna
will
say
give him
something.
100.
You finna say something.
Andrew Wiggins getting
let me
160
tell you
million.
this, okay? This is why I'm getting to my point right now.
Exactly.
Because okay, so you don't want to pay him that. You don't want to pay him max. I get that. But somebody's gonna get that money, okay? So if you don't want to pay that, man, just know
Sacramento throw that money at him real quick.
Somebody's gonna get that money.
Team I was gonna bring up.
And then I ain't even got to that point yet. I'm just getting to the money that the Bulls have. Somebody gonna get that money. So if they don't give it to him, they gonna give it to somebody. And you know we got a bad history of giving money to people who don't deserve it. He a lot more deserving of a lot of other people that we'll give it to. Then on top of that, if we don't get him that money, on top of that, if we like D Wade, you see what I'm saying? Then on top of that, if we don't get him that money, somebody else will. Like they point Sacramento, somebody who looking for a guy who gonna give you 25 a game and stuff like that, all-star and stuff. So somebody gonna get him that money. So do you want to get him the money and be competitive, or you want to be asked out? What you want to do? Because if you not giving him that money is the closest way to you being asked out.
Hey, I'll give you another team. Hey, Atlanta definitely let John Collins walk for Zach LaVine.
You could pay him that money and trade him before you just try to not pay him the money and just
I thought they already paid Collins though. I thought they already paid him.
I don't think they did.
No, they did, but Collins won out. He signed that extension like a dum-dum, and now he won out.
Yeah. He asked for a trade now because he locked into that contract.
He don't like them politics.
But guess what? Ain't nobody gonna take that contract.
But he tweaking though. He should stay with Trae Young.
You talking about the John Collins contract?
That's what John Collins getting.
I don't think he getting that much. Like he getting a decent amount, but not like his contract extension was what, 150 million?
You want me to tell you how much this man getting?
How much?
240 million.
Oh dang, they maxed him like that. Oh,
they broke him. Oh,
that man is getting 240 million. Who gonna take that contract?
I didn't even know he was eligible to get. I didn't know he was eligible to get some money like that. But I guess it's the team that drafted him.
They threw a big stupid bag at that man.
That's crazy.
They gave that man Giannis money.
But that's my point. They throwing bags around, bro. And you think LaVine not gonna get his money, bro?
NBA players definitely go to the highest bidder.
I'm gonna say this in closing. Then I'm gonna go with final thoughts.
I ain't heard what Carnell had said about Zach LaVine in Sacramento. That sounds.
We're gonna move on. I'm sorry, we're gonna move on to Carnell. I'm gonna say this: if they give Zach LaVine that money, I need a chip in 3 years.
Good luck getting that chip in 3 years.
Yeah. Good luck.
I need a chip in 3 years.
We going that and
I ain't gonna say it's not possible though.
It's not possible. It's not possible, but what you said right there, D-Boy, means that the Bulls will have to try and make a blockbuster trade for a superstar. Who would that be? Nobody knows.
Not really. We don't need no superstar. We just need a. Bro, we need a 6th man of the year, bro. Like, let's keep it real, bro.
I'm gonna tell you
I
right
like
now.
our
I'm gonna
starting
tell you
lineup.
right
I
now
think they
who
can make
needs to
plenty of
step up.
noise, but we don't got
I'm gonna tell
nobody to
you right.
carry us through dry points in second and third quarters and stuff
That's
like
I'm gonna
that.
supposed to
tell
be
you right
Kobe
now,
White.
right?
It
I'm gonna
is,
tell
and
you.
they don't even trust Kobe to do it. So
Hey, I'm gonna tell you right now who needs to step up. Who has all the God-given ability, but goddamn, he plays so freaking scared.
Talking about Pat.
He was hurt. I'm not finna let you do that to him because
You're gonna see a much
he
better
got
version
hurt.
of Pat
No, no,
Williams
no,
next
He
no,
year.
got
no.
hurt.
Hold on, Cornell.
He
I'm
got
not.
hurt.
I'm not coming for Pat. What I'm saying is, what I mean by he plays scared, he hasn't realized can't nobody fuck with him. He hasn't realized that yet. But when he do, goddamn.
That is one person I think the Bulls can hit on. Because
I'm just not sold. I'm just not sold on his offensive abilities, man. That's the only thing.
I,
But
I
I'm
think
gonna say
Pat needs
this.
to hit up Kawhi Leonard this summer
That's my thing. If he
and get
get
some
like that, that's the perfect. Like he could be just like that, but his offense
big
ain't
but
there.
bigger.
Like Kawhi offense was there, bro. Even them early Spurs years. That's why he was. That's why he was Finals MVP and stuff. Like his offense, even though he was D, a lot of D and stuff. His offense was there. He was hitting some big shots for them and stuff like that. Like
Facts. Facts.
and Pat not doing
Facts.
that shit. I need
Facts.
that out of him.
It was his
I saw
second
Pat.
year and he got hurt.
Yeah, he got hurt. But in summer
I'm
league,
pretty sure that was
Pat was
Kawhi's
the best
second
player
year. He
on the
got
floor.
Finals MVP.
Wait, say that again.
I said I'm pretty sure that was Kawhi's second year that he got Finals MVP. So that's my whole point. That's what I
Wasn't
mean
his
that.
second year. That was like his fourth year.
No, it
His
was not,
second. You
bro.
sure about that?
No,
It's
it was
like
not,
that,
bro.
like
He
his
was
third,
young. He
fourth
was super.
year.
He came into
No,
the
it was
league
not,
in
bro. He was
2020.
super young, bro. That was
that was
like
like
his second year, bro.
I thought he
that was
came
Yeah,
in
like
for
his
sure. His
third.
2010.
second year.
I thought he came in 2010.
No. He
2020.
definitely did not come before we was in school, bro.
Mm,
2012.
Oh yeah, they won in 2014. All right, you're right.
All right, Carnell, what's your take on this? I'm sorry, sir. I just
Uh, in my opinion, I feel like the Bulls should go ahead and give Zach LaVine that money. But like you said, honestly, it really all depends on how long the contract is. Are we gonna make it 4 years with an opt out, or is it gonna be a full 5 years? Where he got to play through it. If it's 4 with an opt out, then like you said, we need that ring in 3. But if they give him a full 5, I'm willing to give him a 4th year. I'm willing to give him a 4th year because in the NBA, man, you never know what could happen. It's so crazy. But like I said, the teams that have been like the main talk of speculation that he's going to go visit with, were the Lakers, the Trailblazers, and like those were the biggest two. But
I
here's
would
why a
love to
team
see
like,
him in Portland.
They
but
still ain't gonna win nothing.
but here's why a team like Sacramento is so scary, and they also have the money to offer him. And let me tell you why. It all has to do with a trade they made last year at the trade deadline
For
to go and
Sabonis.
get Demontis Sabonis and
I knew you was gonna say
paired
that.
him with
I knew
De'Aaron
you was gonna
Fox,
say that.
and they paired
Mm.
him with De'Aaron Fox. So now,
That's a
mind
big
you,
three like a mug.
and
a
Mark
a,
Johnson
a,
is a finalist for the coaching position.
a
Mm,
straight
mm,
a,
mm.
a straight big three. And I'm not gonna lie, it seemed like the Sacramento Kings are trying to put themselves in a position to look attractive to an all-star like a Zach LaVine. They not necessarily going to go chase after
It's about
superstars, but
time.
they trying to go make themselves attractive enough for some all-stars. They got De'Aaron Fox, they not letting up off of him. That's been their man the whole time, and they finally getting
Especially
him
with the coaches they looking at.
and they finally getting him the requisite pieces. It looked like they need to actually finally make a playoff push. And that started with
Oh,
Sabonis. And I wouldn't be surprised that like if Sacramento had the money, if they threw the contract to LaVine and gave him max dollars, he would go there and take it. Now, of
oh,
course, Now, of course, the max the max dollars he gonna take from anywhere else is gonna be slightly less than what the Bulls can give him because the NBA does, they do add that they do add that slight stipulation with the salary cap to where if you re-sign with the team that you've been with or even the team that drafts you, they able to pay you a little bit more money than the team that you would go to in free agency.
Yeah.
So
It's supposed to be incentive for players to stay where they at.
Right. Because it was too much stuff like players leaving small markets to go to bigger markets for bigger money because as some small market teams could have matched them contracts until like recently. So it was like when you got stuff like that, now a small market like Sacramento can make themselves attractive to like a all-star like Zach LaVine. They can still give them like all the most amount of money they can give them. They got a point guard, they got a big, and they got some solid, bench depth and wing depth. They still got Harrison Barnes. They still got a couple of other pieces that I really like. They still got Rashawn Holmes, who's I really wish the Bulls would have tried to go get him, man. I really wish they would have tried to go get Rashawn Holmes and have him come off the bench. He would have been so nice for the Bulls. Coming off the bench, having a lob threat like that, it would have been nice. But it's just like when you got a team like that and you got all-star potential players in De'Aaron Fox and Domantas Sabonis, who has been an all-star, you could bring in a player like LaVine. I wouldn't be surprised if we started to see Sacramento's name creep up in some of these all-star free agents who looking to get paid some money. Like I wouldn't be surprised at all.
You know what, Cardinal? That the Zach LaVine to Sacramento does sound very enticing. I'm gonna use somebody else who probably be a better fit instead of Zach LaVine. Donovan Mitchell.
I knew you was about to say that.
Donovan Mitchell would be perfect for that team.
But this is my thing,
I would like to see the Bulls go after him if we're not gonna keep.
Mm-hmm.
I think he'll be great in Chicago too with that team.
To hell with Gobert. I give me Donovan Mitchell.
Go for them both. Go for them both.
But I don't think they're gonna have the money for
it. The point. They don't want to play
they
together.
definitely don't want to play together.
They don't like each other. We've seen that brewing for years now, bro.
That's true.
We've seen it coming for years, bro. They do not like each other.
Donovan found out why Gordon Hayward said, "Forget this, I'm going to Boston with my old
Rudy Gobert." It was Rudy Gobert.
Bro, you can't win with him. Why?
He's such a liability on offense.
Yeah,
why these Bulls fans want him? I don't know.
Because they see him playing incredible defense and think we need that on our team.
Because
we don't got no rim protection, and that's been another big thing the Bulls ain't had.
Exactly. We don't got no rim protection and no rebounding. That's why a lot of Bulls fans were clamoring for Rudy Gobert over Donovan Mitchell.
We ain't had no rim protection since Joakim Noah in 2014. Like we don't have.
And the person we could have had to protect the rim, we traded him to Washington. We were supposed to keep Daniel Gafford.
Yeah, y'all definitely screwed that up.
I've been saying that.
That was Garpax. Bobby Portis. That was Garpax.
I would have got rid of him too. Can't break my team. I'm about to say, man, you get off my team, man.
Y'all know why Bobby Portis broke his jaw.
You and your replacement got to sit out. Get off my team, bro. You're not coming back.
You know what?
You know why Bobby Portis cracked him.
You know what? That's what the Bulls need to do, especially because that man just won EuroLeague MVP again. We need to go figure out how to get the Cole Emeritus back to the Bulls.
He's not coming back to the Bulls.
Never.
Y'all scarred that man for life.
Broke that man's face, bro. He traumatized. He ruined by Chicago.
I feel like he definitely said something to Bobby Portis to make him do that. I don't think Bobby Portis just cracked him for no reason, man.
Yeah,
he did. He told him I took your spot and you ain't getting it back. Hey, don't quote me on that. He ain't really say that.
I do feel like the Bulls fumbled that situation because like they could have played together, and for some reason they never let them play together.
Never, and I never understood it.
And I don't know why. Yeah,
coaching and front office because we had terrible coaching and terrible front office.
Y'all still got terrible coaching, so
We had no, we don't have terrible coaching no
Billy
more. We have
Donovan is
okay
not
coaching.
terrible, bro.
Right,
Hey,
bro. Billy Donovan is not
okay,
terrible.
he's not terrible. Y'all got average coaching.
Bro, Billy
no,
Donovan
you
is
said
the
it
best
right, Phil.
coach,
He's
the
terrible.
best coach we had since Tibbs, bro.
See, I'm about to say since Tibbs.
I give you that.
And
Well,
before Tibbs, we ain't had nothing since the legend.
Phil,
I mean, y'all ain't had no good players back then either, so
Which
Scott
means by Bulls tenure, Billy Donovan like the third greatest coach ever in Chicago.
Scott
nah.
Skiles was getting that. Scott Skiles was getting that. Believe Bulls team to the playoffs, man. With
I was about
Ben
to say
Gordon.
Scott Skiles doing a better job than Billy Donovan.
Bro, I hated Scott Skiles as our
Scott
coach,
Skiles
bro.
had us in the playoffs,
I
though.
hated Scott Skiles as our coach, bro. That
He
was
definitely
so
didn't make
disappointing,
no
bro.
good. He didn't make a
Oh
lot of
my
good moves,
God,
no good
bro.
decisions.
Them was my most upsetting Bulls years, bro.
Yeah, but nah, I think Donovan Mitchell to Sacramento. I think that's the one right there. I just want him out of Utah, bro. Like, can he please get out of Utah? I
It's
know
not
yeah,
D
even
Wade
about.
there.
It's not
definitely.
even about getting him out of Utah. You got to get Rudy Gobert away from him.
No,
If he
I just want him off that team. Like, he's too great for that team in general.
He
All them
said Utah don't
clowns suck.
deserve greatness like that.
All them suck except for maybe Jordan Clarkson. That really depends on the day. Like, for real, for real. Like, everybody else, they some chumps. In the words of D-Boy, they some bums. Okay, they some straight up
They get rid of
bums.
all the good ones. Ingles was a nice quality wing player.
Ingles was a bum.
Three and
Okay, I'm
D.
sorry.
No,
Ingles was a
he
bum.
three and D wing player. He decent. Favors was nice, but they ain't never want to keep him around.
Come on, Phil.
Favors was
Let's say
cool.
it. Bum.
Exactly, a bum.
bum,
All of them bums.
Bum. Yeah, but no, Carnell. Yeah, I mean, I see everybody's point, especially yours, Mike, because now that you by you mentioning that, yeah, it's kind of like if like damn if you do, but double damn if you don't, because if you
Mm-hmm.
don't, then
Y'all
because
left
the
the
free agent, I
bag.
mean, Bradley Beal, you're gonna pay Bradley Beal.
Bradley
In
Beal ain't
my
going
opinion,
nowhere.
Bradley Beal is about washed right now.
Bradley Beal is content in Washington,
Yeah,
and they just paid him.
yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, yeah. He's another Dame Lillard, loyal to a city where he's never gonna win. Loyal to a franchise that's not trying to win nothing. So, all right. So that is our show, ladies and gentlemen, fellas. I want to thank you for providing outstanding takes for the night. Twitter world, YouTube world, we can get a like and a subscription and a follow. That'd be greatly appreciated. You can follow our YouTube channel. Can I get some sports with that? You also can follow us on Twitter. Hashtag Can I get some sports with that? Phil, Neil, Mike. Again, I appreciate y'all. And we'll see you guys. Y'all have a great evening.
Yes,
Peace.
All
sir.
right.